mind if I do?
Covino and Rich. Are you ready?
Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Get ready.
Heard all that on the radio.
Whoa!
Yeah!
Holy mother nugget! And holy mother meatball!
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous. What? You're such a fool. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
All right, I got my Covino and Rich hoodie on.
Oh, come on.
I'm all set.
That shit happens.
What happened? No. Start again.
No, I don't want to start again.
Start again. Time out. Time out. No, I'm not starting like that. Start again.
It makes my penis invert. Like,
2, 3, 4.
Don't mind if I do.
Are you ready? Covino and Rich. Are you ready?
Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Get ready.
Heard all that on the radio.
Yeah!
Holy mother nugget! And holy mother meatball!
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous. What? You're such a fool. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
Yeah! What's going on, everybody?
what's up? Welcome to the show, Covino and Rich on a taco. Tickle my sack Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. Now, Tuesday that feels like a Tuesday.
You know, it's funny when you hear the LeBron
right?
Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
It reminds me of
Tuesday doesn't have a feel.
when the Lakers were good, and LeBron was inviting people over his house for tacos.
Oh, man.
Ah, the good old
He's
days.
still leading the league in scoring, though, at the age of 37. So say what you want about the Lakers. LeBron still got game, and we be rocking out. Let's go. All right. LeBron still got his skills. Yeah. He's going to stick around for Bronny. Enjoy your tacos. Enjoy your Tuesday. Hope you broke the fast and enjoyed it this morning. Taco! Taco Loco forever. Steve Covino, Rich Davis. Spot is in his cabin. Welcome to our show. Let's take some phone calls. Let's get interactive. Let's stay involved. 412-267-7469. People say, why don't you guys take phone calls? You guys stopped calling. We never said to not call.
You guys stopped calling and you started texting. You started doing feedback on social media, just like real life.
Right.
Like,
Right?
Think
the only
about
person
real
that
life.
calls me is Rich, to be honest.
I call Covino.
So
And Spot.
You know what would look, where your margarita would look great? In a Taco Tuesday pint glass at shop.covinoandrich.com.
yeah, agreed.
I mean, Spot.
Agreed.
Spot. I was wondering where you were going with that. I'm like, what is he saying?
Right?
Well done.
That's a great pint glass.
Look at
though.
that.
It is. I like
Put
it.
your margarita in that.
Shout out to Franz who did the artwork. We appreciate him. But shop.covino
Get yourself a shirt while you're there.
Get yourself a shirt. Get yourself a pint glass. And remember, same old show, just on a new platform, which means you could call.
Yeah.
You could call and say, what's up?
You could
412, the letter
text.
CNR show.
You
the
can
way,
do it all.
Say you're at work and you can't have a drink. They won't know you have one in your Covino and Rich Taco Tuesday water bottle.
Oh,
if you just fill
a
it
margarita holder.
Fill it with margaritas. Your office won't even know.
Dale, papi. What's up,
what I'm
Manuel?
saying. That's what
Dale.
I'm saying.
No smell, no tell water bottle.
Enjoy
You know,
your gabagool. Enjoy
thank
the
God.
show. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Thank God, according to Mark S., who hit us up on the feedback, I do believe he's right. Didn't LeBron try to trademark Taco Tuesday? I'm like,
did.
no, you can't trademark Taco Tuesday.
He did. And if he trademarked it, we wouldn't have been able to sell that shirt without giving him a cut.
He needs it, right?
Yeah.
He needs
so,
that cut.
F that guy. But props to him for still having game, still doing his thing. Team is garbage, but and that's also on him in a lot of ways, but he's still doing his own thing. So, sports, entertainment, life. Hope you had a great Monday night. I was sort of like a little lost puppy. Like, what do I do without The Bachelor on a Monday?
Look at that. Shout out, by the way, to E, who just subscribed. Brand new subscriber.
What's up,
our
E?
Our buddy Daniel said, yo, E, you got to check these guys out. So what's up, E?
E,
Hi,
welcome
E.
to the show, man. It's like family. We're a blessing and a curse.
What do you think E stands for?
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel.
Yeah.
I was
What's
going to
up,
say,
strong,
I was,
strong Mexican
I was
name.
thinking Eduardo,
Oh,
perhaps.
Ezekiel.
Edgar? Edgar's a good one.
Edgar's Fall. Stands for Edgar's Fall, my favorite YouTube video of all time.
Yoey! You have a painting?
I have the painting of it, thanks to Daniel. But anyway, welcome to our Patreon. Hope you had a nice Monday night. We're
What
going
if
to have
it-
a fun Tuesday.
What if it actually is Edgar from Edgar's Fall?
That would be dope.
Could be.
He'd be
Man,
the
we're
second
legends.
coolest guy to listen to our show after Mike 525. So maybe we can get him as a guest spot. What do you think? Our first
I
guest.
love it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yoey!
Yeah.
Tell us, how did you feel in the moment when you knew you were about to fall off that stick?
It's a legendary video. It's Emmanuel. I'm not sure. Everlast stands for Everlast.
Oh, there you go.
Or Everett.
Oh, Everett. No, I like Edgar.
Everlast is better. Everlast, that's my name. His unique rhyme styles is claim to fame. So, I don't know what you did yesterday.
Oh, I did a lot.
You have your in-laws here, so
Oh, yeah. It's
how's that going?
time to party.
Yeah?
Well-
you went out? Took advantage of
I mean,
the fact that they're here to babysit?
isn't that the whole point?
Where'd you go? Hibachi?
No, that's not.
What
I
do you
went
do on a Monday night?
even better. I had a
Even
fucking
better than hibachi?
crazy
Korean
night.
barbecue?
No, even better.
Douchey sushi.
Nah, let me
Even
think.
better. I had a wild rumpus of a night.
You went to a magic show?
I did. I went to the Magic Castle, and
Did you just go? I thought you could just go. I thought you
you
needed
can't
an
just
invite.
go. I had a hookup spot.
Yeah, you need
Who's your
an invite.
hookup?
I got the hookup. You know who I know.
You don't
Magic
know-
Mark.
Who? Magic Mark?
No,
Magic Will.
It's Kreskin. Told me.
You need a hookup, someone who's involved in the Magic Castle to invite you to attend.
And
I've gone there 2 or 3
Did you
times.
did you tell them when you got there, like, I've been to the Houdini Mansion?
I went for my 40th birthday too, I believe.
I've never been.
I think that's the last time
Always
I
wanted
went.
to go.
No, I went with Jordan too.
Magic Castle, an experience. You need to know someone. And I don't want to give away the tricks of the trade, but I'll tell you since it's our intimate little Covino and Rich club here on Patreon. It's magic.
Who invited you?
So my good buddy Zach,
Oh, was it someone from AGT?
my good
Like
buddy
Tape
Zach,
Face or somebody?
and his girlfriend Jen, who you've met a few times,
Mhm.
it's fantastic. She's one of those wives or girlfriends that is fantastic at planning cool type of things. And she went on the Magic Castle's Facebook page and their social media and just was very interactive on their posts, like, and would just randomly be like, hey, leave a comment. We're going to randomly pick people to invite them. And she was just sort of
Wait, who is this?
throws her name in the mix.
Zach's wife.
Oh, really?
Zach's girlfriend. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, Jen.
I'm always
Jen,
confused
yeah.
if it's his wife or girlfriend.
Yeah, she's. Sorry, I was tuned out for a second. Oh, yeah, she's great.
The amazing Jonathan invited me. The amazing Larry.
She makes great treats too.
Yeah, my buddy Zach's wife is great. So there's so many layers to last night's story. I don't even know where to begin.
I want to hear about the magic.
Well,
I had to suit up, by the way. That's lesson number 1, Spot. I just sent you a picture on the CNR text message, and you guys could text 412, the letter CNR show. When I was at the wedding over the weekend,
start at the very beginning.
I crossed my fingers. I'm like, please. I know it's a black suit, but I'm like, please don't spill anything on the suit because I have
Like
to
a
wear
black
it
suit,
again.
like a Michael Irving, like purple suit? Or like, what do you mean?
Oh, a black suit, not a black guy suit.
Oh,
a
I thought
black
you meant
suit.
like Cedric the Entertainer, like he had a hat and everything.
Could be blue.
I'll explain what the Magic Castle is, Andrew Hart. I'm reading the feedback, but I had to suit up again. And I'm like, thank God I did not spill
I don't know which part of the.
on my suit.
Let's look at this part.
And
What's that dot right there?
you got to get all dressed up.
What's that right there?
You got to get all done up.
Who invited you? Special Head from AGT?
Yeah.
You remember Special Head?
I do.
He would levitate. He was my favorite magician on AGT.
Is it like medieval times? That's what we're getting. No, it's not, Mike.
No, it's a high profile invite. It's really cool.
Yeah,
like
it's
you,
like an exclusive little club mansion.
Like you get there and everyone's wearing a suit and like evening gowns. And
Yeah.
like, are you a member or are you specially invited? And you're like, I'm specially invited. Then you wait on a line and they're like, reservation. Yes. And then you have to find like a hidden door. They're like, go through the hidden door to
like,
the dining room.
Where did you go to the door? You're like, I can't find my reservation. And they're like, check your butthole.
Yes, they were like later on in the night. Yes, I pulled something out of my my butthole.
Is my birth certificate up there still?
Yeah, hold on.
Oh my
Steve
God.
Covino, 8976. How did you know?
Amazing. By the way, you're skipping one part. The piano that guesses the songs when you walk in.
Oh yeah, I didn't pay much attention to that because it was such a long,
Fucking awesome.
line.
You just mention any song and it plays it.
Shut up.
Any song.
Shut up.
Yeah. It's like, the piano just starts
They may
playing.
have moved that to one of the bar areas.
Oh, really?
Because I saw was it a self-playing piano that was
Yeah.
like the ghost is playing it.
The ghost
Yes,
is playing.
okay,
But
yeah.
it plays anything.
All right, I got one for you. Play
Peppers.
Peppers.
It would do it. Because I remember Melody like shouting out something like really random because she was a little kid. And it was like playing the song.
Kids are not allowed unless it's a weekend brunch. So I'm
Oh.
guessing you brought her on the weekend for a brunch.
I just had the hookup, man.
No, but like you
Maybe
can't.
maybe I was just VIP.
I don't know. No, there was not a kid there. It's no
know, bro.
kids allowed unless it's the
VIP.
weekend brunch hours.
I don't remember going on a weekend brunch. Just had the hookup.
Your daughter was hanging out at the bar.
Hookup.
Who's your hookup?
At that time?
Siegfried?
Well, last time I went was with Jordan. It was her friend was a magician. And we saw him do comedy in a magic anchor or something. I forget. And then that other time I went with Chris Williams, who was a magician.
He's a magician?
Yeah. When you're in entertainment, you're like a jack of all trades, right? You can sing, dance, do card tricks.
Chris Williams is on the TV show Upload I watch
yeah, he's
as
a
the
magician.
dad. And he's a magician?
He's a magician.
You know who a former president of the Magic Castle is?
Yes.
Harry Houdini.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Because the number one cocktail on the cocktail menu
Clearly you don't
is
listen to
called
me.
the NPH. That was the number
told
one
you.
cocktail.
What's in it?
I didn't get it. It was a whiskey-based drink. You would have got it probably.
Probably, yeah.
It was like the NPH Old Fashioned or something like that.
Oh, that sounds great.
I know.
Sign me up.
So you wait in line, and my stories go so fun and deep that I'm not even in the place yet. We're waiting in the line to get in.
All right, Donald Trump storyteller.
What that means?
are the best.
I had the best.
I had the greatest stories.
So long and deep.
My stories are deep. How deep are your stories?
So strong.
So very deep.
So deep.
So detailed.
Haven't even gotten in yet.
You want examples? I got the best examples. I'll give you hundreds, billions, and billions of examples. I'll tell you the story.
I'm excited though. I wanted to hear your experience. Did you go
So-
to the basement?
I went everywhere.
Oh,
but hold on.
nice.
Let me tell you all about it. You may have gone more places because you were with a magician.
There's no basement at the Magic Castle.
I found Pee Wee's bike there.
So I get the text message from my buddy Zach, the Lego Maniac. And I'm going to find it just because it's important to read the contents of this. Here we go. Reservation for Monday, March 21st.
That was yesterday.
Party of 6 for 6:15. Now, there's a whole list of what needs to be done. Wardrobe, everything. You must, I'm telling you, when I tell you, it's
a very exclusive
it's
club.
pretty specific. Formal wear, military dress is accepted,
Okay.
or religious attire. Men must wear a coat and tie. Dress pants and dress shoes, no exception. Women must wear a dress, a blouse and a skirt accessorized, or a pantsuit with a accompanied structured jacket. So, like you can't be showing up.
Like Hillary Clinton.
You can't be showing up even a tad sloppy. Like when I tell you, it's like a black tie wedding almost. You're looking at this line of people.
Well, it's a very, none of us are in that world, so I don't want to come off as stuck up. But it's like a very exclusive club. It's like the Anna Delvey Foundation. It's like a place that you go, like a club that you have to wear a jacket, where they make you wear a jacket when you go in because it's very exclusive. And that's how they maintain exclusivity.
Wasn't there a great Seinfeld episode about the jacket?
The jacket.
And didn't like trapeze people take the jacket? Do you know that episode?
It's a great episode.
Who borrowed it? Is it Jerry that borrowed it?
Jerry, yeah.
He had to borrow a jacket to go to a fancy, the Governor's Club or one of those like comedy places.
Yeah.
And
Shriners Club.
They saw like a Cirque du Soleil acrobatic show, and they're like, as a prop, they're like, your jacket, and they never gave it back to him.
But then they
I gotta return it.
But then they eventually had it like cleaned and pressed. But like there was a whole situation around it.
Anyway, here's the first hilarious moment of the night. I'm waiting in line, and in front of me is some Robert Downey Jr. looking motherfucker. I know it's not Robert Downey Jr., but he's got like the tinted little circle glasses, like the goatee-ish look. Like, I don't know how to describe it. He looks important. He looks Hollywood.
Maybe it was Robert Downey Jr.
It wasn't. I'll tell you how I know. Because he's not wearing a tie, and he's wearing sort of like loafers. And he brought his like teenage kid, and it said like 16 or older or something. So I was like, and the kid had sneakers on. The kid had dress pants, a button-down shirt, and sneakers. And I'm like, yo, this is like not even close to the wardrobe. I'm like, oh, maybe it is Robert Downey Jr. and he's just going to walk in. Then all of a sudden I hear him talk, and he's French, visiting the States. I'm like, sir, here at the Magic Castle, we cannot let you in dressed like this. He's with his wife and his 2 teenage kids. They're like, he goes, what do you want me to do? And they're like,
Je voudrais un croissant.
They go to him. There's a Marshall's 3 blocks away. If you want to go buy dress shoes and a tie, come back and we'll sort of make it work. And the guy's like, are you serious?
That Marshall's isn't close.
Are you serious?
Are you serious?
And they're like, yes, sir, we are serious.
Oh, man.
And this guy walked away like,
man.
Are you kidding me? And they're like,
why don't you use your magic?
Ta-da, you now have tie.
Ta-da, give me shoes. You're so great with your magic.
Turn shoes into dress.
And they walked
Why don't you disappear?
They walked away like, oh, wow, they were serious about that. And fast forward later in the night, I saw them. So I guess they did. They allowed them. I think the compromise they made was, we'll push back your reservation and you could still come tonight. Go clean up. They come back and I see the kid bought like shitty dress shoes at Marshall's, and the dad had like some bunk tie that didn't match his shirt. But
hey, you know, they keep a standard. Gotta respect that. I do.
Gotta respect the standard.
I do.
So we get in, and here's another. I don't even know where to begin. You know when you have so many layers of story, even when you try to plot it out, you're like, where do I even go? Because there's so many angles. There's a third couple along for this excursion.
Oh.
And I'm like, who's the third couple going to be? And I'm going to describe this guy in 2 ways without really giving much away, because I don't want to say anything bad.
But you do.
But
I could feel it.
No, not at all. No, nothing bad at all. It just...
You can.
I mean, you can if you want.
You can if you want.
I look at some guy walk up with like an attractive girl.
Oh.
I'm like, who's this guy? Wait a minute.
Was it Robert Downey Jr.?
No. It's my buddy Zach's girlfriend, Jen, her sister, who's like gorgeous.
Oh. Why doesn't she come to your parties?
She's moving to LA.
Oh.
She lives out of state now.
Does she need someone to
but
show
here's
her
the
around?
deal. She walks up and they're like, the guy she's with, I know him. He was a Bachelor contestant like a couple of years ago.
Colton?
And
does she know?
a Bachelor contestant that my wife did a favor for once that went terribly wrong. We had a mutual friend that's like, could someone watch a dog last minute? It's an emergency. And this is like before our kids were a little older. It was like, I think when Sarah was pregnant. And just because we're like, yeah, sure. A friend of a friend needed a favor. How long? A day. The person's leaving town and they don't know what to do with their dog and no one can watch it. And for one day, we were going to watch this person's dog. They were like, yeah, it's a small dog. And long, boring story short is that it ended up being not a small dog. It was a fucking monstrous dog. And we had to like make arrangements, and an inconvenience to us. And it was a pain in the ass. And that's a man's dog. It left like a weird feeling for everyone, because the guy probably felt stupid about the dog. We felt guilty because we're like, yeah, we can't take this big dog.
You should ask him to watch your rear dog for all the trauma he put you through.
So it was one of those like, hey, what's going on? I know you. And he's thinking like, well, how do you know me? And like, he's probably thinking you're gonna be like Bachelor. And I'm like, no, like I think we tried to watch your dog once. So the whole time we're on this hang,
I wonder what his impression of you is.
Look at this dweebus. Actually, you look very handsome.
Dweebus.
You look very
This
handsome.
guy thinks I'm a dweebus?
I mean, it depends on how like Chad he is.
Look at the picture of me and my wife and tell me that anyone other than you would say, look at this dweebus.
I don't, it depends on how like is he like Shane from Love Is Blind?
He's the fucking 40-year-old guy that was on The Bachelor 10
Because
years
Shane
ago.
from Love Is Blind would think you're a dweebus.
I mean, like, listen to yourself.
Yeah, but I equally think he's a dweebus. So
So
we could all think each other's a dweebus
I don't
equally.
know. You know what?
So
Look
the
at
whole dinner
looking at the
conversation-
photo
the-
again. Yeah, this guy's a dweebus.
yeah, the whole dinner conversation.
Now
Look how the trees look like his hair.
right.
Look how the trees are blending in.
I did. It's a I have like I have a shit locks.
No, it's like you got a Lyle Lovett going on.
I know.
Did you blow that out? That's like an updo.
I know.
The trees are blending into his hair. So if you use your imagination,
Dweebus.
So Sarah's laughing the whole time because
She
Small
knows.
world.
she's like, do you think he's a pea brain and forgets, or do you think he remembers the very weird one-day interaction we had 10 years ago where he fucking went to bring his dog to our place? We're like, yo, we can't take this big ass dog, and he's like, oh, sorry. We're like, sorry, a weird interaction. Later, dude.
He doesn't remember.
I mean, I remember. You know, a one-day interaction with a weird guy.
because it wasn't really 10 years ago. If she
Maybe
was
no, it was
pregnant.
five, maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's like, so our friends are like, do you guys, like, Zach gave me the old, like, yo, do you know him? He's like trying to get with my, sister-in-law. Is he a nice guy? I'm like, I got no issue with him. I'm like, he's like, it looks like you guys like sort of know each other. I'm like, well, it's weird. Like, we know of each other. We have mutual friends, but the whole night, Sarah's laughing because I'm sort of carrying the dinner conversation. And she's like, are you trying to like out bachelor? She's like, you just wanted to.
Your mannerisms are so subconsciously like contrived. You know what I mean? Like, can't you see Rich trying to out bachelor the bachelor, but not even knowing that he's doing that? He's trying to out bachelor a bachelor contestant.
Yeah, because I guess subconsciously, I'm like, this guy.
Subconsciously. That's why I said that.
okay.
I'm like, yeah, I'm like, this guy was
Like when we hung out.
this
with
guy was
Rachel
like this guy was
Lindsay,
like this guy was a popular contestant on a dating reality show. So in a mixed dinner party,
Rich
I'm
is
like,
I could out charm this
I could-
guy,
and-
but I don't think it's not like a conscious decision that Rich makes.
I figure it
But
out later
you
on.
can see it, and he'll realize it later. And admit to
I'll
it.
realize it later
Like,
on. You're
when
right.
we were hanging out with Bachelor contestant Rachel Lindsay because she worked with us. She was the Bachelorette. Rich was trying to like win a rose the whole time, and I'm like, we're just hanging out. We don't need to be competitive for her attention.
No, I think he does that intentionally.
I don't think so.
no, it's stuff later on. I realize it later on. Spot. I'm like, oh yeah. Sarah's like, she's like, it was so funny. You were being so. She's like, you were being so fun and chatty at dinner, and she's like, you were trying to win a rose.
It's hilarious.
I'm like-
It's fun. I say that in a way so you could really understand how. Like,
Oh, I know
Rich
my,
is-
I know my flaws.
But I don't think he does it on purpose.
I know my flaws. I know I do those things. I know that I need to validate these things in my mind. I'm like, oh yes.
So Rich is running the show, telling magicians how to do the magic tricks.
No, I did not.
You should try ta-da instead of abracadabra. So go ahead, continue.
As you know, at this place, Spot, are you
You should try
aware?
Shazam.
Are you aware that
But then do this when you do it. Shazam.
I would try like a bam.
abracadabra is a little old fashioned? Maybe ta-doop. Ta-doop.
How about ta-dow?
So, I don't know if you know of this place, Spot. I know a lot of people watching and listening are like, no, I don't live in LA. Of course, I don't know the Magic Castle. Are you aware that it's a pricey night? I was unaware of the priciness of the night.
I've never been.
So it's like $40 a person cover charge.
I've only driven by it.
Valet is $20. Valet is $20. So right there, that's a hundo.
But it's not like swanky by any means. It's in a swanky area. And it's cool to see from the outside, but when you go inside, it's like you're eating it in the Munsters like dining room.
yeah, it's a very old. It's like a 100-year-old dining room.
Yeah, it's in Hollywood. It's
Right.
probably
on a hilltop.
It's on a hilltop, like 2 blocks up from the Chinese Theater. If you need a point of reference.
Fun fact: it's a block. It's on the same block as where the Enchantment Under the Sea dance was filmed for Back to the Future.
It's on Franklin Ave. Street.
Yeah, it's on Franklin. I know.
Franklin. I don't know what the. It's actually Avenue Street. I don't know what it is. But yeah, on that corner is that
Yeah.
thing. It's near Hollywood Boulevard, Hollywood and Highland. It's very near the center of Hollywood's like Times Square.
So already, I mean, not that I'm counting pennies, but it's a pretty pricey night. $40 a head, $20 valet parking, which is the only option because, as you know, in Hollywood, you can't just park in the street or something.
No, there's no street parking around there.
So walking in the door, it's already a hundo, which I'm fine with. Magic shows, it'll be fun. And then dinner was like pricey. The cocktail menu. Remember that Neil Patrick Harris old fashioned I told you about?
Yeah.
I had something called like the sorcerer or something, or like the
Merlin.
the
Merlin.
You know what I feel bad for? Zach, because he's got to deal with you and Bachelor Guy the whole time.
And it's just Zach. And
Oh,
Liz.
Zach's
like
funny as hell
Zach.
though.
I know he's funny, but like,
Now you know how I feel every day.
yeah, I feel like he's got to compete with
Now you know how I feel.
Bachelor boy and Bachelor guy.
Now you know how I feel sitting in this box every day in between the two of you.
Yeah, that must be. See, he has a tough life.
It is.
Poor Zach.
Stuck in a box.
Every cocktail is like $22. So now you're thinking, have a cocktail. You know, you can have at least one cocktail, a couple throughout the night.
This is a night out.
No, I know, but then I'm like, I didn't expect it to be cheap, but then the menu comes out.
Is it gold plated?
All the steaks are like $70 or more.
Do they use QR codes there?
I actually had the sea bass,
Did
which
you get
was
the Copperfield green salad?
it's a good one.
Like that one?
I got the Siegfried and Roy Rogers.
Oh,
yeah, he has non-alcoholic.
there it
Yeah.
is. Yeah,
Nice.
great.
And yeah, it just ends up being like, you know, it's probably like a $500 night, start to finish, when you think about all the drinks and eating and everything. But you get in there and you go in little, like they're almost like little rooms where there's show times, but you sort of just, Covino, would you agree? You sort of just mosey on and find your own way. It's like over here, there's a guy doing card tricks. Over there, oh, in 15 minutes, a little show starts and it's like a 20-person theater. So if there's seats, hey, we'll watch that show. You move around. Oh, there's bar. There's a cool bar.
What's cool
There's a little
about it
piano
is,
bar.
yeah, there's lots of little bars, but there's lots of little
Hidden things.
stages, like you know what I mean, like performance areas where you're sitting in like little theaters. They're little theaters.
Yeah. And
You can just come and go.
once the
Well,
show
there's
starts, you
showtimes
can't go.
and stuff,
No
yeah.
phones whatsoever. No pictures. No nothing. So like
They take your phone, don't they?
they don't take your phone, but if they see it out, they remove you from the place.
I feel like they took mine.
Maybe because you had it out. And they're like, sir, you can either leave or we'll take your phone. It's possible.
Maybe. I don't remember.
Or tuck it between my cheeks. Be like, take that out.
Now, when I tell you these magicians are top tier, I really want.
Did you get the Chris Angel food cake? Shit was dope.
This angel food cake. It's a good one. I like that.
How long were you brewing that one?
I just thought of it.
Oh,
I
that's
had
pretty good.
I had carrot top shelf whiskey.
No, I had the Burt Wonderstone crabs.
Oh, nice, nice. They have lots of good ones.
Man.
Lots of good menu items.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Now, these magicians are doing things that you've never, like you've seen. No offense to our buddy Magic Marcus, he is on this level. I feel like a guy like Magic Mark or Will or these guys probably could find their way to a place like this because they're that good.
Yeah, they're professionals.
But these are, how do I describe it? If you're a magician, they have new magicians at the Magic Castle every week. So it's almost like if you're a hot magician, you book your weeks at the Magic Castle throughout the year. And Monday through Sunday, each week, there's a new set of magicians. I sat down, of course, I volunteer. I'm like, well, yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, it's only like 10 people, so
I
it's not
know.
like I'm volunteering. And everyone wants to volunteer because everyone's there spending money. So everyone's like, yeah, sure, me.
I'm the greatest volunteer.
I go up there, and I'm sitting at a table with a deck of cards in front of me. And it's a small little intimate thing. And he puts a tin of Altoids on the table. And I'm like, what is this tin of Altoids? What is the significance? I don't know.
Maybe it was drugs like your mom thought your tin of Altoids was.
Yeah, that's a fun side story. My mom thought I had Altoids in a Ziploc bag in high school because I didn't want to carry the tin. My mom brought them to Genevieve's pharmacy. My son's on drugs. So, ma'am, they're Altoids.
And didn't your dad tell you to get Preparation H? I heard you had Altoids.
Dad, Altoids.
I know, Richie. Those can be
irritating.
annoying.
They could be painful.
when they flare up.
I suggest you soak them and try some of this.
Altoids, Dad. Altoids.
When I tell you,
Not Hemorrhoid.
When I tell you I'm as close to this guy as I am to you
Altoids.
right now,
Yeah.
right? Let's say your phone right here is the Altoids box.
Get your doo-doo caca finger off my phone.
How do I know where your hands have been?
Not where yours have been.
His have been in sticky.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking, I don't want to touch your dirty ass hands.
How do you know what they've been picking up?
I'm
the
not
past
the one
few
who's.
days?
I'm not the one whose hands are flaking the last 3 days. Fucking weird. Tell me about my hands. Show close up of this guy's hands when you want to know. Talk about
Better,
caca fingers.
Much better. Much
He's
better.
the next member of the Sticky Bandits.
Yeah.
So the Altoid box is sitting there, and I am trying to. I would never be the guy that ruins a trick, but I'm trying to figure it out. But I would never be like,
Yeah.
hey, he's got a whatever. But I'm trying to.
You can't just let it go and have fun in the moment, huh?
No, I can, but I'm like, what is this Altoids? I'm like, I'm gonna watch this Altoids box
Like when I'm,
because it's something's with this Altoids box. So I'm watching it.
but like when we were,
I'm enjoying the moment, Spot. I'm enjoying the moment.
Because when we were at, remember when we were at the Houdini mansion and we did that little seance? I knew I was sitting on something and I knew my ass was going to get shocked. But you know what? I played it up for Vanessa Hudgens.
Of course.
And her sweet titties.
And everyone plays it up. In fact, I started a chant for this guy when it was over.
Because
he goes
too much.
Because he goes, it was my
chant.
He goes, it's my first time performing at the Magic Castle. It's my dream. So when he was done doing these miraculous tricks, his name is Gus.
Wow.
Everyone's like, yeah. And I was like,
Gus.
Gus. And everyone's like, Gus. And he was like, oh, thank you. Oh,
Gus. He needs to work on his magic name.
You should have told him he should call this segment "This Is Gus."
There it is.
this is Gus.
Such as Gus.
This is Gus.
This is Gus.
So the
Great show,
Altoids
isn't
tin
it?
is here. He does the whole thing like, pick a card, any card. And he goes, everyone loves to, he goes, there's cards people always go to, like Ace of Diamonds, Queen of Hearts. He goes, there's ones that subconsciously are automatic. He says, think of an obscure one.
Oh, so when he said pick a card, he didn't mean actually physically pick a card. He meant think of a card.
He goes, think of a card.
Okay.
I go, like, I said, 5 of clubs. And he's like, the deck of cards like pops up and the one card in his hand is the 5 of clubs. I'm like, oh my God.
It's pretty cool.
Wild, right?
Yeah, I
No, that's
love
not the best one. Then he goes, here's a Sharpie. I'm like, it's this real Sharpie. He goes, write your name on the 5 of clubs.
Rich.
So I do a little Rich on the 5 of clubs.
Richie.
I know. I rubbed it with my finger just without letting the audience see because I want to be like, is this erasable? Like, no, it was a permanent Sharpie. He goes, put it back in the deck. I put it back in the deck.
Yeah.
He starts shuffling them up, right? He lays all the cards out. He's like, all right, now we're going to find Rich's 5 of clubs. Wait a minute. We can't seem to find your 5 of clubs. Hey, Rich, do you mind opening the Altoids tin? I open the Altoids tin, and my 5 of clubs with my signature is fucking folded in 4. I'm telling you, I had no clue on earth how this motherfucker did it.
Now-
Yo, dude.
Check your butthole.
And then he's like, check your butthole. And I pulled out.
An Altoid.
I pulled out.
I told him. Ta-da! And your dad came out.
Gus.
No, he pulled off a mask, and it was his dad.
And then he's like, turn around. And I turned around, and Altoid started spraying to the audience.
That's amazing, though.
But it's things like that obviously clearly more entertaining when you're there than me telling the story. But still, it's like, I did not take my eyes off. Like,
I love that shit. If you're too cool for some fun magic
I
tricks,
love
then
that
you're
stuff.
just
and then
you're just too cool
we
for
saw
me.
we went into another room and there was a guy that's like, I'm a mentalist. You know how Magic Mark would do some crazy stuff at our conventions? He'd be like, all right,
They read
like
Twitches
Doug,
and
like
shit.
Doug from Dougie Fresh Picks.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be like, Doug, I want you to think about your first pet's name. And Doug's like, okay. And he's like, all right, your first pet's name, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, W, S, T, U, V, W. Your first dog's name was Whiffles. Doug's like, oh my God, it was. And you're like, how on earth did Magic Mark do that?
So what is that called again? Like,
Mental, he's
it's
looking
like
at,
you read the twitches in someone's body,
yeah.
like the slight little.
Something truism, mentalism.
It's
Skedaddlism.
Yeah, look, it's not mentalism, but I know what you're saying, Spot. There's a word for it. Now, we go to this mentalist, and I'm not going to lie. He goes, no one's a plant here. And you got to assume no one's a plant because...
But men like you were usually called a fruit.
Because he goes, people always think there's a plant. But, have I met you? No. And it's, it's like people on date night. So he's like, what's your name? Wait, he goes, no, hold on. I know your name. He's like, give me your wrist. And he looks at it. He doesn't even do the ABC thing. He just holds her wrist. And he's like, Allison. And she's like, oh my God, my name is Allison. And he goes, write down a fun fact on this piece of paper. I'm going to turn around. He goes, someone come outside the room with me so you know there's no hidden cameras. And I go, Zach will. So Zach goes outside the room with him.
Wow, you're even volunteering other people.
He's like he's like the Mask when he goes out.
And
lately. Somebody stop him.
she writes down on the piece of paper, I'm getting married next month in Laguna Beach. Mm-hmm. She didn't say it. She just wrote on a note, put it in her pocket. He comes back and he's just staring at her. He's like, what's going on in your life? What's going on in your life? And he's doing these weird twitches with his body. What's going on in your life? What's going on in your life? And we're like, this guy spasming. He's like, he's like, something special, something going on, something special. You're getting married. Are you getting married next month in Laguna Beach?
No way.
And everyone's like, if it's not a plant, how on earth do these people do this?
Magic pen?
There was a guy.
Magic pen.
There was a guy, whatever she writes on it, like appears somewhere else.
Yeah.
Whatever. So there's a guy in the back row. He's like, who's a skeptic? And one guy in the back's like, oh, I am. And he's like, I want you. And he, has him think of like an animal and a number. And he's like, all right, I got it in my head. Didn't write it down or anything. He's like, can I have your hand? It does the whole like holding his wrist thing. And doesn't even do the numbers or count. He starts blinking a lot. He's like, looking at him. It's like 37 elephant. And the guy's like, oh man. And I don't know how they do it. You tell me. I don't know. The end. But it's wild. It's wild how these magicians, I'll be honest,
and to be at that level, you don't need to be a household name to have, tremendous professional skills.
Yeah. And
they're all great.
Makes you wonder how many times these people use these skills for evil is another thing I thought of. Like, if someone could read minds and read the influences of people, who's to say guys like that don't have, if they're good looking, they could probably easily manipulate and sleep with women just based on like the art of like mental persuasion, right?
Why do you think psychopaths exist? Like people that use their natural abilities to persuade others and target others, and they use it for bad. That's all the swindlers on Netflix right now are these types of people that can read other people. They just don't realize that it's a certain type of people use it for magic and tricks. But
that was
that sounded fun.
That was my night, man. And
now you want to be a magician?
We were out till we got home at like 1 a.m. because there's shows that go throughout the whole night. We met for dinner. We had a 6:15 reservation and we didn't get home until 1 a.m. It was like a really nice night out and great to see my buddy Zach. Sarah made fun of me. We had fun. We saw some cool magic, had expensive drinks, and it's I'll tell you what, if you ever get the chance.
He did have
I know
Top
Spot
Shelf whiskey.
There's got to be a way to get into some of these places. Like I said, maybe the trick is be their fucking super social media fan and just like their shit. And they might be like, hey, we're giving away some tickets for fans. But if there's ever an opportunity where you hear someone say Magic Castle LA and you're here or something, you got to do it. Spot, I feel like you got to do it. We got to figure a way to reach out that you can do it.
There's a lot to see. There's fun performances. You have a nice dinner.
I like the universe. Experience. The universe will bring me there at some point.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's not like you're asking to go to the Playboy Mansion in the 90s. It's a Magic Castle. You could get there, but it's just not easy. Like you do have to know someone. It's like what's that Italian restaurant in New York that we never went to?
Oh,
Rayo's.
Rayo's. We could have gone.
Isn't it also like an academy of sorts?
We had an inn, but we never took advantage of it.
Yeah. The Rayo's in Vegas we've been to, but there's a Rayo's in New York that does like one seating a night, and unless you know someone, you can never eat there.
We knew the son of the owner.
Yeah, he was on
like
our
part
show.
owner. And we could have gotten in, but like we trying to sync up schedules, and it just never worked out.
I think this is before they were bottling up their gravy.
No, they were doing it.
They were doing it then?
It wasn't as popular. It wasn't as popular.
I don't remember it.
Because I don't remember. I remember thinking how cool that was, but I don't remember the urgency of us wanting to go.
No.
But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool night. So
That's awesome.
That was my night. I did some magic.
My night seems really weak after that. Awesome
it's
I had a good night.
when you eat
Went for a walk.
out,
Me too.
your instinct, we talked about this at dinner. Your instinct is always to lean towards the steak if they have it, because you're almost mentally pressured. Speaking of mentalists, you're almost mentally pressured to be like, well, we're at a place that has an expensive steak. That's probably what I should get. I'm like, I wasn't in the mood for steak. And I know you're not a seafood guy, but Spot, their sea bass was delicious. Like sometimes going off the steak, like I was like in my mind, I'm like,
That's why I always.
I had steak last weekend with Covino in Vegas. Like I just wasn't in the mood for a big ass fillet or something on a Monday night.
The menu. I look up the menu ahead of time, and I also look at the Yelp reviews. That's how I like researching to know what I'm going to order.
And my wife got a steak, so you know what that means. You could always take one bite of hers. Like, oh, let me give it a try. Let me give it a try.
Exactly.
Just hoping they don't finish it.
Yeah.
So you could have some. Alex, the Playboy Mansion is probably easier to get into. Yeah.
Well, today.
I would say so.
Well, nowadays, yeah. In the 90s and
Today.
2000s, maybe not so, but yeah, man. That was my night. Magic Castle. And while Sarah's mom and stepdad are here, it is
Should be going hard.
yeah, I said to Sarah last night, I said
Just go out every night.
text Mike and Shannon, text Spot and Covino's wives and girlfriends and see if people want to do a nice dinner later this week. Because I'm like, Cindy and Mike are so good with our kids. They're like the ultimate grandparents. And I'm like, they're here until Saturday. Once they're gone, every time we go out, it's easily $100 for a babysitter. So I was like, if we could sneak in one more dinner with friends while they're here, isn't that part of why they're here? To give us a little break, right?
You know who the real
They can see
saint
their
is?
grandkids and we could get a break.
Sarah's mom is a blessing.
Oh my God.
But Mike is like the real saint in all of this. Like he's so willing. And
Mike,
I'm not
yeah.
saying, as Sarah's stepdad,
Yeah.
not that he's any less of a dad, but to be so patiently willing to just like hang around for 2 weeks. I can't imagine my stubborn dad being in one place for more than like 3 days.
And I always tell him,
living under this roof. I want to get back to my house.
Because he doesn't want to live in someone, like he doesn't want to be in the,
Can't hang around in my tidy whities.
in the presence of like, Rich's house. Like,
I always tell him, I'm like, Mike, please make yourself at home. Anything you need, anything you want. I'm like, Mike, this, please, whatever. Are you comfortable? Please tell me you're comfortable. Like, and then I say,
I could use a foot rub.
but then I think to myself, when they're in Texas, he's busting his ass, helping his mom and his sister and running errands and going to the farm and doing all this. So like, to be honest, I bet you him, like yesterday I saw him sitting outside, the side of the house where the lemon tree is. He was sitting there with his foot up by the little lounge chair. He was just chilling by himself. And I'm like, maybe he needs this break.
It's going to be a beautiful week. Might I suggest showing them a little love and taking them down by the beach? And
We're gonna do it later
Yeah.
this week. We're gonna do a little sunset by the beach. Maybe take them to a nice restaurant with the family. But it's
Best sunset spot is Leo Korea.
Leo.
Drive
maybe we'll
up,
go up that way.
Drive up the PCH, park on the side, and look off into the distance, and you'll see a great sunset.
But yeah, no, it's
And then go to Neptune's Net for some tacos.
my in-laws are a fucking blessing with this stuff. They really are. Like, I we talked about it yesterday. Trust me, all parents, including my own, are not always available for kid stuff. But Sarah's mom is cut from the grandma cloth, which is fucking rare these days. But yeah, that was
which is made of like moo material.
Right,
it's,
moo
yeah,
material.
it's the grandma
No,
cloth.
it's the material that those smocks were made out of.
Yeah.
My grandmother always wore.
My grandmother wore. My
Smocks.
grandmother, my mom's mom, my dad's mom, who passed away last year in Florida. That grandma put together, wore jewelry, wore like slacks and like old lady shirt, and like that grandma, dad's mom, put together beautiful woman. I'm not saying my mom's mom wasn't beautiful, but she was. All I remember is her wearing the rotation of like 3 muumuus, never did her hair.
She wore rag mat material.
It was
Rag mat cloth.
My grandmother
rag
was.
bats.
My grandmother was like your dad's mom. She was like very put together.
Yeah, I had
During
one,
the day, she wore her smocks because she was always working around the kitchen.
I had one put together grandma and one muumuu no makeup grandma. I had one of each. And it's funny because you see how people age and you're like, ooh. And then you see that with dudes too. You're like, am I going to be like put together old dude, or am I going to be like, hey, where's my teeth?
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
be like rocking a Goopaline, sort of old guy, ringing a bell. Bring, bring, bring. Hey, I'll rock a fedora. Bring, bring, ringing a bell. Hey, and I want you to call me Papito. And they're like, you're not even really Mexican. Call me Papito anyway. Anyway, that's a great story.
Yeah,
man.
it's
Because I felt like I was there with you, and I love that place. I think it's great.
I would love to go with you because I love watching your reactions because Covino adds to the excitement because Covino is very Covino leans into the fun.
Yeah, like when
he's a
there's
child
no
like-
suspending your belief. I'm all in.
Yeah, Covino has that.
Childlike wonder.
He has a childlike wonder. Like anywhere you go, Covino is like, yo, this is amazing, brothers. Covino's a great. Anywhere you want to go to try out, go with Covino because he'll, even if it's average, he'll be like, yo, it's fucking beautiful.
When Special Head's performing, I'll go. Special Head from AGT. By the way, I noticed when I was in Vegas the other day, the league leader in like creating stars nowadays, like Vegas stars, is AGT, because everyone that has like a headlining show or is new on the scene is all an AGT like act. So they're killing it with that shit. So props to that. I didn't see any Special Head advertisements. You remember Special Head Spot? Can you pull up his clip? Because when he performs, when he levitates, that's one of my favorite performances.
I had one grandma that wore muumuus, and I had one grandma that, like I said, was like put together. Didn't you? One of your grandmas wore basketball shorts, right? Wasn't she balling? Wasn't one of your grandmas a basketball star?
No, she wore my brother Tommy's sneakers, but she wore like anybody's sneakers, and she always had safety pins all over her shirts. I don't know if it kept them together
for safety
because they were so old, but I have no idea.
No, she just safety pin anything to fit her, like extra large. It won't fit you, Grandma. Yes, it will. She just safety pinned it.
Grandma Tita wore anything that was handed down. Oh, here's Special Head from AGT. Watch this. Watch this.
That's rich.
Wow. Special Head, man.
Yo,
I want to see that guy.
I'll tell you one thing I did see at the Magic Castle to wrap up my fun story from last night. I did see.
There's like the original Charlie McCarthy, right? Or one of the.
Yeah,
there's a lot of puppets and magic tricks and things like that.
I did see as they call it, the greatest trick of all in the world of magic, and it's sawing a woman in half. That's considered in the magic world like I guess you would say the go-to, like that, like back in the 1800s. That was
I would say pulling a rabbit out of a hat.
Might be the original.
That might be the OG.
But they talked about how it was the greatest trick. Oh, you know what he did too? One of the guys asked for, could we get like 3 or 4 people to give us their wedding rings, like their wedding bands? He mixed them in his hand and he held them up and they were all linked. And he's like, here, feel them. And the people's wedding rings were intertwined. Like, how?
Magic.
Well,
fuck you, it's magic.
Well,
as Penn and Teller would say.
You know, I saw they show the woman. They have one guy holding leather braces. Like they wrap her legs with like leather straps, holding the straps. Some other guy's holding a strap that's around her neck. And then the guy puts a knife down the middle and then pulls the box apart. And I'm still like, what am I? It's gotta be something. But you're like, well, she's crunched up in one side of the box. But then how's the one guy still holding the straps by her ankles? It's wild. I think magic's so great, man. If you're not into magic.
You know what's cool? You're making me think now. Magic.
Did everyone go through a magic stage as a kid? Did you go through a magic stage?
No.
I went to a magic shop like maybe 3 or 4 times.
I went to a place called Amazing Larry's once to buy a boomerang bow tie.
Spot, did you ever go to a magic shop when you were a kid?
A
couple times maybe?
Probably. Yeah.
My buddy Walter.
I bought some trick gum at Amazing Larry's.
My buddy Walter went through this phase where for like maybe a few months he's like, I love magic. And we used to buy, you know what, you ever hear of flash paper?
Of course.
Yes, I love it.
Flash paper where you light up and it turns into a fireball. But they sold that at the magic shop. So we'd go to the magic shop and you might buy like one little silly card trick where the cards fold a certain way. Like for a minute I was like, this is so cool, but
a lot of kids go through a magic phase. I don't think I did. I've always liked it though, but I don't remember having like a little kit and the hat and like feast your eyes. I don't think I ever did that shit. But
I think it's cute when little kids. I think it's cute when little kids are like, Mom and Dad, watch my magic show.
Knew, like I had no card skills, like I learned how to shuffle.
Your sleight of hand is not good.
My sleight of hand wasn't good. I tried, I tried different things. I could take my finger off. Yeah, every kid is fascinated with magic, even adults. But the last time I went with Jordan, I'm having flashbacks, flash paper style. I went to like, it was all kids, all young people doing their act. And it was incredible. It was like their first experience.
Oh, that's cool,
their
man.
First time. It was like a showcase at the Magic Castle.
See, that's cool.
And I saw all these kids do this shit, and it was incredible. I'm like, man, these kids are so good. But it's a fun time if you're ever out in LA and you're able to get the invite.
Spot, who we got on the phone, buddy?
I don't know. Let's see who it is.
Oh, a mystery caller.
Mystery
let me
caller.
tell you. It is Jason in Tampa.
No, good guess though. That would be my guess.
Lewis Heckler.
No, good one.
It is Miguel.
Nope.
It is the guy
Such as Black Adam.
Nope.
such as
Oh,
Jim Ramsey.
Nope.
Sensing Hortensia.
No.
Magic Mark.
Nope.
Who then?
All right. Is this Everett? Or is it?
Yo, what's going on, guys?
What up?
Oh, you're the new guy?
Yes, sir. How you guys doing?
Well, how the fuck am I going to guess the new guy? What's up, man? How are you? How do you like the show so far? I know it's your first day. You're 50 minutes in. Are we okay for you?
Nah, you guys sound dope. I can get into this show.
Hi, friends.
Nice.
I just want to talk about my nana. She passed away a while ago, but she was a 4'5" Italian lady with a beehive wig that she wore all the time.
Yeah.
And she couldn't stop cursing if her life depended on it.
Bafagool.
Man, grandmas were cut from a different cloth back then, right?
Yeah, grandma cloth.
I in a
love
good
old
in a
Italian
good
grandmas.
and bad way. Like they don't have the nowadays grandmas are never gonna have the love and what old grandmas had. However,
They're all a little racist, and they'll all hit you over the head with a rolling pin.
yeah, and they but you know what? They you hope that your wife doesn't turn into what grandmas used to look like, because grandmas
Oh, no,
grandmas let themselves go.
Mama Hops.
Yeah, you don't want that. Thank you, E. You're the man. Appreciate you.
Hey, buddy, thanks for checking out our show. We appreciate it. We don't always talk about magic,
Change your name to Edgar.
but it was story time. Rich had an exciting night out. So
Did you
thank
just tell him we don't always talk about magic?
Well, I mean, if he's new to the show, he's like,
What do you mean?
This is a fucking magic show.
And that concludes our daily magic segment.
Hey, new guys, just know that this is not a daily magic podcast.
Damn.
Hey, by the way, P10 just wrote Gabagool for no reason because he
no,
had
because we're
Italian
talking-
grandma.
Yeah.
Did you see that Subway's now serving Gabagool?
Gabagool.
Gabagool?
Subway.
Are they?
Yeah.
Is it the Jimmy Garoppolo commercial?
Gabagool?
Haven't
They
they-
don't say Gabagool. They should,
Garoppolo?
though.
Haven't they always
say
had
Capicola.
Haven't they always had Capicola?
I don't know. They're advertising it now.
I don't know, maybe part of the Italian BMT.
Yeah. I keep seeing commercials for it.
I just feel like we never
But I
knew.
really think they should lean into the Gabagool.
Why
but
not?
They don't. They
Oh,
don't.
the new Italian style Capicola.
Yeah.
They got the
It's like
Thin
extra
sliced
spicy or something.
Black Forest ham, Genoa salami, pepperoni on a fresh baked artisan Italian bread topped with provolone, lettuce, tomatoes,
But you know
red
how many
onions,
boneheads probably don't realize that Capicola is Gabagool?
and our famous MVP Parmesan vinaigrette.
Like, I'm waiting just for them to have the fun with a Gabagool.
Gabagool, and they're calling it Capicola.
Yeah. They go, and there's probably so many, random Americans that are like, Capicola, what's that?
Gabagool.
Oh, that's Gabagool. Oh, okay. I'll try it.
Supreme
know
Meats.
what?
We should call this podcast.
I'll tell you this. Supreme Meats, that's our new show name. I do enjoy a good Subway sandwich. I haven't had one in a while. I mean, granted, I'm the guy that loves Taco Bell as my treat.
My
But
daughter eats them all the
There's
time,
something about
so.
Subway that I used to love, and now ever since they're like, the bread is
Yeah, but don't you
foam and
think
the
they
cold
made
cuts are just I don't know.
adjustments on it since they got all that backlash?
Maybe so.
I would
maybe
imagine so. I'm a Subway fan.
You know
what?
what,
Their cookies are second to none.
what's
I've always enjoyed it. I know it's not a good New York City deli sandwich, but sometimes.
Excuse me, sir. Do you want cheese with that?
Mozzarella.
What's that?
Gabagool. Mozzarella.
Gabagool. Yeah,
Gabagool.
I'm
I
reading
hit,
the
him with,
feedback.
I hit him with the double toast.
Mozzarella.
Double toast.
I'm reading the feedback. I think Brett was today years old when he realized Capicola and Gabagool were the same thing.
That's my point.
Yeah.
So if they're advertising, they're really leaning into Capicola. Why not just throw a little fun reference?
Yeah,
out
be like,
there?
have like a fat Italian guy. Be like, oh, you mean Gabagool?
Yeah.
No,
Like
sir,
it's-
Capicola. Gabagool.
Yeah, I feel like how are they
Gabagool.
missing
They
out
blew
on
it.
this
They blew it.
marketing?
Especially you joked about it, but if you have Jimmy Garoppolo, have him be the Gabagool guy.
Oh yeah, the Gabagool. No, the Capicola. Oh, okay, yeah, the Gabagool. Subway.
Come on.
Eat fresh.
Gabagool.
Gabagool.
Anyway, Everett.
You could go-
Emmett is our
Gabagool.
Fox Sports Radio guy.
You could get
Everett, thank you, buddy.
You could get Capicola with mozzarella. Mozzarella. And then some fat guy comes in and goes, you mean
Gabagool.
Gabagool and mozzarella?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I said
Mozzarella.
Capicola and mozzarella. You mean a Gabagool and a mozzarella? Spot, you just wrote the commercial they should have had.
I mean, hire me.
Some fat Italian guy comes in and
Trying
goes,
to get a sandwich over here.
we got
sir, we have the new
we have
Italian BMT with
Spot,
Capicola.
it's clearly some nerdy spokes guy that's like, we have the new Capicola and mozzarella, and then some fat guy busts through with like sauce on his shirt. And he's
No,
like,
he's got-
do you mean the mozzarella?
The guy toothpick. He's like,
And the Gabagool.
I'm looking for some Gabagool.
Gabagool.
Well,
Our new capicola and mozzarella. And then the guy ends the
come
commercial
here.
with, he's like,
Come
it
here.
means a Gabagool.
I thought it all out. I was
You're
like,
going to say Gabagool, right?
How would I visit this? By the way, speaking of
Gabagool.
Jimmy Garoppolo, it makes me think of a point that has nothing to do with football. But I ask you, and everyone listening, give me an example in your life. I have a couple, so if you need a second to think, where you waited too long to make a decision, and by doing so, you fucked yourself over.
Woke up this morning, got some gabagool.
Give me
Gabagool.
capicola.
Then I woke up the next day and got some gabagool.
Gabagool.
This could be the soundtrack to the commercial.
Getting different types of gabagool.
even got some Gabagool from a Subway.
See, there you go.
There you go.
There it
Perfect.
is.
Works.
It works. It's perfect.
So
Eat fresh.
eat fresh.
Gabagool.
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 So
Man.
times you waited too long. I have two things that pop into my head. It didn't happen to me exactly, but how many times does someone wait too long to figure out who their prom date's going to be?
Yeah.
Or their date to a wedding, and you wait too long, and like someone else asked all the cute girls, and you're like, yeah, I guess I'm going with Becky to the prom.
That's what that happened to Harry Potter.
My sophomore year of college, all my buddies were debating who's going to room with who, what dorm, who's going to be roommates. This is why I'm very committal now, because back then, it was like, hey, yeah, maybe I'll room with you. Maybe I'll room with you. And I was just distracted with a lot of stuff. And by the time I knew it, every one of my buddies was like, yo, bro, you gave me no answer. I'm rooming with Joe. I'm rooming with Matt. And I had like sort of a roommate my sophomore year of college, because everyone that I was contemplating being my roommate, I waited, and they're like, yo, dude, I linked up with Mike. The 49ers right now have held out.
I got to isolate that.
The 49ers right now have waited too long to deal Jimmy Garoppolo. All these quarterbacks have begun to find their new homes. And now the 49ers, who thought like, no, we're going to get some top draft picks for Jimmy G. There's a scenario in which they just release him so they don't have to pay the money, because they would owe him $26 million. And if they paid Jimmy Garoppolo next year, there's a good chance that deals for guys like Nick Bosa and Deebo Samuel, they won't have the cap space for that. So if the 49ers don't trade Jimmy G, you know what they're going to have to do?
What does Rich's hat and the 49ers have in common?
The noggin boss?
No cap space.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just saying, it's like there's times in life where he who hesitates masturbates.
It's true.
And I think the 49ers are going to be stuck there with their junk in their hand because, all right, the Colts. Nope, not anymore. Matt Ryan. All right, cool. Maybe he'll go to the Saints. No, they just gave Jameis Winston a deal. All right, well, Jimmy Garoppolo will go to the Washington Commanders. No, they got Carson Wentz. No, the Steelers. Jimmy G is a Steeler. No, they gave Mitchell Trubisky a 2-year deal. The 49ers almost have run out of 90% of their options as to what to do with Jimmy G. They thought they were going to get a couple top round draft picks for him. And now I think they're going to be like,
you know where this happens? I was thinking about it last night because we talked about this on Fox Sports Radio this past weekend, how DeMarcus Cousins was a great example of holding out, waiting around, and then getting a shitty deal as a result. Because you're betting on yourself. It was a matter of, do you bet on yourself or do you take what's given right away?
The two examples.
Knowing your worth, knowing your value, or, just taking it because you got to be honest with yourself sometimes.
The two sports examples Covino and I harped on during the Fox show were, if you remember, DeMarcus Cousins got a 2-year, $40 million offer. He said, nah.
I'll wait it out
because I think I could get more. And he ended up getting a 1-year, $4 million
and then
deal.
Ended up getting hurt and was never the same.
So
and
2
never got
years,
that payday.
2 years, $40 million? Nah. Ended up with a 1-year, I think $4 or $5 million deal. And in baseball, I was saying, former New York Met, Michael Conforto, a year ago, was offered a 5-year deal for over $20 million a year, which I think they said they would have gone up to like roughly 120. So like, let's say 5 years, 120. Conforto said, nah.
It happens with stocks.
Nah.
Right?
Where is he now?
People are like, nah, I'm going to hold out and wait. And then that shit plummets. And they're like, I should have sold. Right. It happens in life. It happens on Shark Tank. I was watching Shark Tank last night, and I had the same thought. And, someone presents an offer. Mr. Wonderful's like, I'll make you an offer.
Oh.
And the guy really doesn't want to deal with Mr. Wonderful. He's like, I came here for Mark Cuban. And, he's not really entertaining Mr. Wonderful's offer. He's like, I gave you an offer. And he's not really paying.
Yeah.
I need an answer. And then before you know it, bam, he pulls out. Now he's left with nothing. You know what I mean? Like, he should have jumped at that offer while he had it. It happens all the time on Shark Tank. It happened in life just recently.
Oh, Mark brings up a great point on our feedback. In the NFL, Le'Veon Bell. Do you remember he sat out a year?
Yeah.
And he would have made tens of millions of
That's
dollars?
what I was thinking of when we had this conversation on Sunday. I should do the
Le'Veon
show
Bell.
with you, Mark. That's what I was thinking of. I was like, there's another one. I remember when you brought up DeMarcus Cousins? I was like, yeah, but there was another one. Le'Veon Bell is what I was thinking of. Great example of what we're talking about. Like, you got to...
Michael E. is right. The Niners are going to have to cut Jimmy G or trade him for a bag of fucking Cheetos or something. It's the idea of Jimmy G getting like 2 second-round picks and Matt Ryan just went to the Colts for a 3rd-round pick.
You know who that cock blocks, right? Baker Mayfield, who wanted to be a cult. So now, where does Mayfield end up?
Mayfield ends up a Falcon? A
Maybe.
Seahawk? With Pete Carroll? They both have...
the Seahawks drafted Uncle Rico today.
I saw that meme, yeah.
I
So,
love that. I love that.
It just shows you sometimes you wait too long, and you're right. It happens with everything. You can be like, no, I'm not gonna buy the stock yet. I'm gonna wait for it to dip a little bit, and never dips.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
I'm gonna wait.
I wanted something called the Nike Air Jordan Mochas, right? They kind of, let me explain. There's a sneaker before Travis Scott turned into a piece of shit in my mind. I wanted the Travis Scott Jordans, right? And they're brown and they have a backwards swoosh. But they're, he has great endorsements and great deals and great style.
Actually.
Right? But they're like $1,200. Like $1,500, these Travis Scotts.
Oh, by the way, I'm sorry, Andrew pointed out, the Falcons signed Marcus Mariota, another place that's like now taken.
That's right.
Damn
like I said, should do the show with him. So when Nike put out the Air Mochas, the Jordan 1 Mochas.
Is this them?
Well, those are the Travis Scotts.
That's what I said.
Yeah, those are sweet looking. I actually like those.
Okay, now those were like $1,500, right?
Damn.
Now pull up the Mochas.
Okay.
So then they released recently, like in the past year.
Yeah.
Like you buy them at Foot Locker, Mochas, right? So I was like, yeah, I'll get those. I'll get those next time.
They look exactly the same.
Without the backwards swoosh,
Without the
without the
backwards swoosh.
sassy Travis Scott sort of, details.
But they look like pretty much exactly the same.
Maybe I should get these Mochas. Then I hesitated.
Other than the swoosh.
Well, they have black too.
But
I
still.
hesitated, right, Rich? Now, you can't get those for like under $800.
Look at the difference.
And they were sold in Foot Locker.
Yeah, they look close, but they're,
You know
there's
why?
differences.
I mean, sneakerheads would really
Because I
be paying attention,
hesitated,
but
and now I sit here with my dick in my hand, like mystical.
What could you have got them for, you said?
Regular price, $100.
And now you can't get them for...
Oh, you can't get them at all. The Mochas are like the hot shit.
There's another...
You gotta act now. This happened to me last night.
There's another time in your
When
life...
Mr. Wonderful presents the deal, you got take the deal now. I'll give you 3, 2. All right, deal's off the table. You gotta know. Shit or get off the pot is really what it comes down to.
As far as let's say Conforto for the Mets, does there come a point where his pride? I mean, money's money, but here's a guy who was offered over $100 million longer term deal. He said no. What if he gets no bites and the Mets like, we'll take it back for 1 year, $8 million or $10 million?
Yeah, well,
does he have to? Does he have
at
to
that
like
point you come back
swallow
with
his pride
with your tail between your legs, with egg on your face, or whatever the expression is? You come back and like you take what you can get at that point. You're selling your stock real low because you believed in yourself. You bet on yourself, which is a good thing. But again, as we wrapped it up on Fox Sports Radio this past weekend, you have to be honest with yourself.
The only logical spot for Baker Mayfield right now, our buddy Kevin up in Canada said,
good guy, Kevin Cedarholm.
Mayfield in Carolina. Makes sense. Yeah, Carolina needs a QB. I don't know, man. You hesitate. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. I'll give you one time where you're playing. It's a game. You know what? All these things we're talking about, stock market, contracts, prom dates,
Shark Tank,
Tinder dates, Shark Tank, all these things.
You're dead to me.
all these things that we speak of are all the same concept. It's you're trying to time it out. Flights, booking a flight, but the best one of all, you ever get to the airport, your flight lands, and you're like, all right, let me book an Uber. You're like, $120.
Oh, I do this all the time.
And then you're like, let me refresh. It's like, oh, $109. All right, let me refresh. And now it's only $80. Should I book? You're like, oh no, wait. Then it goes back to $100. You're like, ah! And then you're like, all right, let me book. All right. Oh, now it's down to $70. I'm gonna wait.
I waited at the
Why
airport.
didn't I book it at $70? It's back to $100.
I waited at the airport for an hour once because I refused to pay a super surge on Uber.
You gotta act now.
But Uber Uber is the best example of, do I act now or wait?
Well, then again, here's what happens when you act now. One time, Rich met a New Jersey Nets dancer. It's
a great example.
And he's like, oh, she's hot. Yeah, I'll hook up with you and date you. But then he met the rest of her friends who were way hotter, and he had no shot with them because he already acted now on the first, one that came forward.
He's right. He's right.
You know
This girl was good looking, and I was like, ooh, she's hot. She's an NBA dancer. She goes, we're going out with all my girlfriends.
There's a balance between acting now and knowing your value, holding out.
When we went out with all her girlfriends, no offense to her, she would have been like my 8th choice. I was like, damn. Ah. So
you ever like just jump on the special because the waiter gives you an option? You're like, oh, I'll take that. And then you see everyone else's food come out, and you're like, oh, man, I should have got that.
So 49ers waited too long to deal.
Too fast.
I hate that.
49ers waited too long to deal Garoppolo.
I hate.
Isn't that the weakest feeling? There's got to be a meme, like the old guy looking at someone else's plate, like, fuck, I should have got that. Mine don't look as good as that does.
You waited too long for the Uber.
Acted too soon.
The 49ers waited too long for Garoppolo.
That's the life balance you need to figure out.
Like I said, it's the college roommate thing. My sophomore year summed up with that. Who do you want to room with? Hey, Covino, maybe we'll be roommates. Hey, Spot, maybe we'll be roommates. I'm not sure. Hey, Zach, maybe we'll be roommates. Like a week later. All right. Wait, you guys all decide to room with other people? Then who am I going to room with? Fucking waited too long.
Well, this happened to me yesterday. Swear to God. True story. I went to Costco this past weekend, and they were selling fruit trees, like cherry trees, for $40. But they were tall as hell. Jordan's like, can we get one? They're only $40. It's like $140 at Home Depot.
Where are you going to plant it?
Just put it in a...
It doesn't need to... Like a fruit tree doesn't need
like
to...
one of those barrel...
Yeah, like a huge planter.
Yeah,
I mean, eventually it should be in the ground.
Yeah, but if you buy those huge barrel planter things, they're fine. That they sell at Home Depot. And I'm like, well, how are we getting that home? We don't need it. She's like, but it's the cherry tree. We should get it $40. Oh, man. But I was all for it. I'm like, yeah, we could. How are we going to get it home? So I guess she dwelled on it for the next 2 days. So I just went this past weekend. Next 2 days, she's like, we should have really got that tree. I'm like, yeah, but how are we going to get it home? She's like, I could open up the window. We could put it in and just could have went out. I'm like, oh, you know what? I didn't even think of that. Right? Because her seats don't go down.
Yeah, but you can't let a tree hang out your window like 10 feet to the side.
I mean, only how many feet are really going to be sticking out?
I don't know how big this cherry tree is.
It's not that big, but it's big. It's like, 6, my height, right? Like 6'2". So
you're right, 5 foot cherry tree.
So I'm like, all right, you know what, man, my bad. For $40, $40, let's go back. And sure enough, you go back there. Hey, you guys, you had about like 100 of them here last 2 days ago. Yeah, they're all gone.
You know, they were such a great deal. They just went like that.
Instead of my $40 cherry tree, I ended up walking home with a little plant.
George Washington came and took them all.
So I got a little plant instead. So I could have got a $40 cherry tree, but instead I left yesterday with a little plant for $19.
So the point today is that the 49ers reminded us of a very important lesson.
Act now.
Act now.
Sit here where you dick in your hands.
Or you end up looking at a flight that's $300 round trip. No, I'll book it later this week. Later that week. Later.
Well, that's why
$489.
Yeah,
know your worth, but gotta know when to act.
I mean, there are ways, but let's be honest. You're not going to be looking at something every minute to track it and know where it's going. It's like, just do it in the moment.
It's tough.
Act now.
But sometimes when you act now, you end up with the ugly girl.
Even Kayak will say buy now. Or it's more likely to go up or more likely to go down.
The other day, for the first time, it told me to wait Spot. Is that weird? And I was like, ooh, wait. I was like,
Maybe it was a sign from the gods.
Wait.
A lot of problems with these
Word?
Boeing planes.
I like that.
So yesterday, that was Rich's Monday night. My Monday night was easy, breezy, beautiful. Picked Melody up from school. You know, did the whole dad thing for a little bit. What do you want? I'm her personal butler. What do you want? What can I get you? Just want you to be happy. That's all.
Any update on the weird kid at school?
No, he's just a weird kid. Like what? I
You
don't
tell the
know.
teacher?
No
It's
update.
Just
No.
a weird kid.
No update. And our buddy Ryan, the guy who did our studio, Ryan Justin of themodbarn.com.
Such a talent.
So talented. Themodbarn.com. Great guy. Nice dude. Swell fella. Really helped me out because if you remember, I needed patio doors. And what was the headache about my patio doors, which were ruined and it caused all these leaks in my building and everything else, was that they had to be custom sized. They don't sell these at Home Depot, right? You had to get a custom sized door put in. I'm like, people are charging me an arm and a leg. I can't even fucking find anyone to do this. No one wants to do these small jobs here in LA.
Also, people don't want to walk around with one leg and one arm.
Right. So the guy that did our studio hooked up my patio and finished it yesterday. And I was like, oh, what an accomplished, even though I had nothing to do with it. What a great feeling to finally get this done and get a quality job done from a really nice guy.
Why didn't he just get a smaller door and fill in the space with great stuff, gaps and cracks?
Smart, you want to show everybody and I'll tell you my favorite part of it.
By the way, is your kitchen still expanding?
No, that's a whole other story. Watch our Patreon Behind the Velvet Rope. That's one part of it.
Oh, good.
And you can't see it, but to the left there, I have a little bird feeder all hung up nice. Ryan helped me hang that up.
That you could have had there?
What?
Cherry tree.
Yeah, I could. Well, I know. I didn't act. And Spot, look at the next one. Show them. I want people to see my hummingbird feeder. There it is. So that's the other side. I got a hummingbird feeder on one side.
No, look good on the other side of cherry tree.
By the way, thank you for not putting red fluid in it.
No. Jordan makes hers.
I do too. Yeah.
And yeah, man, he put in custom doors, did a great job. So that headache is over. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, thank God. And he looks so nice. Just trying to get the patio ready for the nice weather.
So would you say that you have
Springtime.
more doors or wheels on your balcony?
I have more knobs. More knobs.
More knobs?
But
Okay.
anyway, he did a great job. I do want to thank him, but that's just an update on, the whole saga I was going through of the leak and my doors were ruined and everything else, but he did a great job. That's done. And again, the feeling of, whew, that's one thing I could check off my mental list. Got my doors done, went to Costco, and then I watched Bel Air because Rich told me to, and I like it.
Okay.
I only watched one episode.
Okay, yeah.
And
I think you're going to like it more as you keep
15
going.
minutes into the second.
Okay.
The kid's a weird looking guy.
What, Carlton?
No, well, him and Will. I think Will's a weird looking. He's like handsome but weird looking at the same time. It's like a cartoon character or something. But it's a little distracting. However, I like it. I don't hate it by any means.
Yeah.
So I'm not dissing on it at all. I'm still trying to get into it. I was talking to Biggie DeLine about it this morning. Like, yeah, I think I'm digging it, but I don't love it yet.
I watched a show on my flight to and from Atlanta that I'm off now. I'll be honest. Like, there's certain shows where, excuse me.
Gross.
Gross?
Yeah, I feel like you hocked a loogie like Hillary Clinton.
Hold on.
Marcia Fudge.
Marcia Fudge.
I feel a goblin came out. Yeah.
Little alien goblin came out.
Then you see take a sip and then spit it back into the
Piece
cup.
of her brain fell out.
Yeah. Marcia Fudge.
You ever watch a show where season 1 is solid and there's a clear feeling of, oh, they didn't really plan a season 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
The feeling of like some shows, like I know for a fact there are shows that this is written for 5 seasons.
Like Queen's Gambit doesn't need a second season.
No.
But it was so good, I think they're trying to do one.
But
And
I'm
it's like,
saying
yeah, but
there are shows where when it's presented to a network, they're like, we have a script plotted out that this would be, if all goes well, we have a script for like 4 to 5 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Some shows they pick up and it's like, oh, success, season 2. And I truly feel like the show I'm talking about, Upload on Amazon Prime, Upload. Season 1, wow, what an interesting concept. When you die, your soul and spirit goes to like an afterlife, but your living humans can communicate with your being, it was a cool show, cool concept, everything. Then there's a twist and you're like, oh, good show. Season 2, 7 episodes so far. I'm not going to say garbage, but my idea of recommending the show to you is gone now. Like, don't. Like, I would have been like, Covino, upload. No. It is the victim of, oh, we got picked up again? All right, so in season 2, the dead guy, like, I felt like they were winging it. It stinks.
It's also the same sort of thinking as a hit album. Like, so many years went into, or a comedy special. Yeah. So many years and trials and runs went into creating the first album or the first comedy special. And then people want you to come out with that next one. It's like, well, hold on.
Oh.
It took me years to perfect the first one.
Proof in the pudding. The biggest lame-o I know.
What kind of pudding?
Jeff the Jerkman said, upload is so good. Watch it, Steve, to you.
Oh.
On our text message. Which just proves
Now I
season
got
1
it.
was good. Season 2.
Beef pudding.
Season 2, no good, bro.
Who do we got on the phone, Spotty?
Oh, they hung up. Waited too
Oh,
long.
412. See, I had to act now.
No, you didn't. I was like,
Rich had to go on a ramble about upload.
They're not there anymore.
412-267-7469 if you want to call back. 412, the letter C in our show. So that was my Monday night. And then I passed out, and that was it. Here we are doing our show. Rich had a great time at the Magic Castle. I got my doors in, went for a nice walk.
I went for a walk.
I saw that Spotty also, completed his rings.
Yeah. I went to the gym after the show.
Threw out
my back again.
Can you explain that to me?
And then, they're calling back. Hold on.
What do you mean?
No
can I
waiting.
explain that
Act
to you?
now.
Here's the rings.
No,
right?
act now.
No, I'm saying for the people that don't know what you're talking about.
Here's the rings.
Okay.
And once you complete your
You
rings.
have 3 rings. Hold on, person on phone.
I get notified because I'm
That's cool.
Spot's pal. And it's like, oh,
So you have 3
finished his
rings.
workout.
You have a move ring, which is your daily calorie goal. So like I think 750 is the standard.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have a exercise ring. I think you need to do 20 minutes of exercise a day.
And then your steps.
And then your stand. Your stand ring.
Yeah.
So you need to stand at
But
least
it does
12
tell
for
you
5
your
minutes
steps.
or a minute for at least 12 hours a day.
So far today, I've had 394 steps.
That's cool, man.
Not a whole lot.
That's cool.
But then you can partner with friends and try and like challenge each other.
Yeah,
So I
you
see
guys
when-
wouldn't want to see mine. Like,
So Spot closed out.
mine would expose what a fucking jittery idiot I am. You'd be like, Rich has 30,000 steps and it's
I don't
11
think
a.m.
You can't see steps, but you can see when they complete exercises.
Right. I just know that Spot closed out his rings
No,
yesterday.
you'll be like,
I went for my
like
nightly.
it's lunchtime and Rich has.
I went for my nightly money walk.
Well, thank you guys. Let's go to the phones. Who do we got, Spot?
Someone from BC.
Yo, what's up, Canada?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, it's Travis. You guys can hear me okay?
Yeah, what's up, man?
No feedback?
No feedback.
Good. Hey, just calling. You know what? Long-time listener. Really nervous about this call because I've thought about it lots in my head before. Just want to let you guys know I've been listening to you since Maxim. I'm maybe one of those silent majorities that, doesn't speak out, doesn't, add to the show, but just has been a long-time listener. Love what you do. My family laughs every time I bring up something new, and they go, "Oh, you've been listening to Covino and Rich, have you?" And yeah, Rich, I'm a redhead. I used to be an accountant, so I know you and I probably wouldn't get along all that well because your opinions on accountants and redheads.
No, my dude, I've changed my mind on accountants because our new accountants.
Just not redheads.
Just not redheads? I mean, I like you. You know what? My favorite redheads. What's your name? Who's this, Travis?
Travis.
Ed Sheeran and Travis might be my 2 favorite redheads. Ed Sheeran might be my favorite artist. So if my favorite artist is a redhead.
You guys, I never listen live. I'm always on the delay and whatnot. I just was driving. I'm like, I'm going to call you guys because I love what you guys do. Just keep doing it.
Dude,
keep
call
doing it well.
anytime.
Yo,
I appreciate
Travis.
it so much.
Call anytime.
Travis, that made my day. No joke.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. Does Canada have like a tax season like we do? Like, is it big?
Well, that's a good question.
Is it tax time right now by you, or is there a deadline in
I'm
Canada?
not an accountant anymore.
Oh, but
I quit that. I'm in real estate. I'm in real estate now.
I discouraged him. He's like, Rich doesn't like accountants. I'm out.
But is there a tax deadline in Canada?
Yeah, April 30th.
Oh, okay. So
If
tax
you're
is
a
the
business,
30th.
small business, you have to June, but yeah, April 30th is the tax deadline.
good to know.
When I was in public practice, it was always busy, kind of around this time through into April, working tons. You guys got me through that period a lot because, when you're on Sirius, I listen to you every day and just like, oh my God, thank God. I'd have to shut my office door lots because, obviously not everything was on on the, I don't know, whatever.
Someone
wasn't
definitely-
always appropriate for the office.
Right.
Someone definitely got audited because of us.
I love it.
Hey,
Thanks,
buddy.
brother. Thanks for the call, Travis. Look at that, Canadians. They're just like
Hey,
us.
guys.
Call us anytime, man.
Love
we
you
welcome
guys.
it.
Love you, buddy.
guys. Happy to finally chat with you on purpose. I'm hoping maybe when I'm down in LA sometime. I'm with the agency, so if I'm ever down there, I'll try and pop by. If you guys ever have people back into the studio and introduce myself, or one of the
Yeah,
one of the
no, I think
parties
we're
that
doing.
you
I
guys
think
may put on.
What's the agency?
the agency is.
What's the agency?
No, it's like a special group. Don't
Yeah.
don't,
What's
don't
the
ask,
agency?
don't ask about the Canadian agency.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. That was
thanks,
nice.
bud.
Nice phone
A
call.
very nice phone call.
And there's a lot of people
what's
like
the
him.
agency?
No, don't ask. Son. Don't ask.
Is that some clandestine organization?
Clandestine. Hey,
The agency.
Covino, Spotty Boy. That is something that if that was a trivia question and,
I would have no idea.
all the money in your life was on the line,
Would have no idea.
did you know if the Canadian tax calendar and everything worked the way we did? Like, do Canadians know
I
where
didn't know.
Something I've never
April
thought of.
15th? April 15th is the tax deadline here in the United States. The last couple of years there was an extension because of COVID, but April 15th. If you said for all your life savings, yeah, well, would you answer this question? I would have been like, no way. I didn't even, in my mind, I'm like, is it a floating deadline? Is it the same day? Is it a different day? Like, that's interesting.
Yeah, I imagine if you miss your deadline, they're just like, oh, sorry.
That's okay.
It's okay. You
Oh,
can do
get it
whenever
to
you-
us when you get a chance.
Oh, don't you know?
Man.
Hey.
Hey, I hate to fire you down, Rich.
Oh, what are you going
but-
to tell me about?
No. It's just like a follow-up. Normally we don't do follow-ups.
Taxes. It's the worst part of the game.
We had a conversation about how Rich was a Budinsky at his friend's wedding.
Oh my God.
How he didn't let the DJ just be the DJ. He had to boast his professionalism as a radio guy.
Yeah.
And
The
tell
only thing
this guy what to play to make it a better party.
Yeah.
Eddie, your DJ,
Yeah.
one of our listeners from Arkansas, who's also a DJ, said, dude, you really overstepped your bounds. Did you see what he wrote or no?
No, I don't.
He was-
I don't know. He doesn't. He's on like Cricket Wireless. I don't get his texts.
He goes,
Pissed.
He's
I
on.
was listening to Rich tell his DJ story. Again, if you missed it, it was yesterday's Patreon. Rich was at a wedding and couldn't just let the guy do what he did. I'm listening to Rich tell his DJ story. My blood is boiling.
Good. I get reaction.
I was in that business for 30 years, and that is a prime example of the absolute worst nightmare from someone in the mobile DJ business. That's all I'll say, because trying to debate with him, I'll never be a match with his ego. But I love you, Rich. So he said it with love, but you got straight feedback from a guy who does this for a living, how aggravating that could be. And yesterday I was expressing how aggravating that could be because I did it this past weekend. And, Rich was on the flip side of that story.
Oh,
but
we
that's just a follow-up.
we posted the clip, which was very funny on our social media. I just wish Spot didn't label it wedding fail or something, because now my friend's going to think I thought her wedding was a fail. Like, you could have labeled it something else.
I mean, I can go in and edit.
not.
I can go in and edit the title.
Can you edit the title?
What would you like the title to
I don't
say,
know.
Rich?
Why
But
would-
it's your wedding fail.
No,
Yeah.
it's labeled wedding fail or something like that.
That's just the title of the
Yeah,
video.
but do you think my best friend one of my best friends who just got married is like scrolling through social media like, oh, Rich is talking about a wedding
You
fail?
only see the title if you. It's weird how the titles work in
All right.
Facebook videos. It's not how it's not how it's posted. It's like it's weird.
all
I
good.
never understand it.
It's all good. Eddie,
would you- what
Eddie
would you
said
like to
something
call
rude.
it?
Eddie said something rude, and he's like, oh, but in peace and love.
No, that was his perspective. I think it's great perspective.
No.
He's a guy that does that. So that's the flip side to what Rich was doing and explaining and expressing yesterday.
Yeah.
It says
Was
wedding
Rich-
DJ fail? It
was
doesn't
Rich-
say wedding fail.
Oh.
Was Rich just trying to help? Yeah.
Wedding DJ fail.
Was he
Is that okay?
right in the end? Probably.
Just put DJ fail.
But wedding DJ.
If I just got back from a wedding and I'm telling my friend that I had the best time and everyone's all celebrating, do you want to be scrolling through social media a day after your wedding and see one of your best buds talking on the radio about a wedding fail?
Well, then you shouldn't have talked about it or told me to pull the clip and post it publicly.
Yeah, but maybe. Use your fucking sense.
How about you use your fucking sense when I ask you for input? And you
It's like having your friend. It's like when if your friend had a baby and you the next day were like, ugly baby story.
Half hour for a response.
Ugly baby story. I was in a magic castle with no phones. I actually have an excuse. I was in a magic castle where you can't use your phone. You wanted me to get kicked out of Gus's show because of you?
Rich was getting sawed in half at the time.
What?
In your defense, you were getting sawed in half.
Yeah. How can I reach my phone when it's in a pocket in the other side of a box across the... Oh!
All right, so thank you guys. I have a rando story for you. It's a tough one, Rich, for you to give me an example of, but it's like when you bring up things you probably shouldn't have brought up, and you're like, you felt like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that.
It's got hot, huh?
It's 100 degrees.
Well, it's going to be 90 degrees in the valley today, so...
Trying to get all my long sleeve shirts out of the way. So I'm not going to be able to wear them anymore. Starting to get nice out. So this is when small talk goes wrong. It's not much of a story, but when small talk goes wrong.
I was going to say, you've been following me around.
No, yeah. So if you have examples, please, because, sometimes you bring something up and there's not enough juice behind the story to keep it going, but it was just a moment, unless you have other examples. Like the most famous example here on the show is when my dad came to pick me up as a little kid, and at my friend's house, again, I'm just like in 4th, 5th grade or something like that. At my friend's house, his dad had a painting of Pavarotti on the wall.
Yeah, Pavarotti.
So my dad just happened to see a documentary on Pavarotti. He don't give a fuck about Pavarotti. He's like, hey, is that Pavarotti? He probably said his name wrong.
Is that guy?
Oh, yes, it is Pavarotti, Steve.
Then now my dad's stuck in this conversation.
Are you also a fan?
Whoa. Hey, sit down. And the guy was playing him records.
I'll pour you a drink. Get the record player.
You know how the kid doesn't come up? I was that kid who didn't come up right away when his dad came to pick him up.
You're in the middle of... You're probably in the 7th inning of a heated game of bases loaded.
I was playing something, right? Like, Dad, I'll be up in a minute finishing the game. So my dad's stuck with this other stuffy dad.
It's only the second quarter and you're playing double dribble.
Him Pavarotti music. So small talk goes wrong, right? How about another example, a recent example? I was talking to this idiot in my elevator. Remember in my condo? And he's like, yeah.
Someone died, didn't it? Yeah, what was it?
Yeah, it was it. He's like, yeah. He's like, the guy who lived there a few years ago, really nice guy. I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't know. Oh, yeah, he died, though, on the roof. On your patio. I'm like, what? He died like in my house?
And he's haunted the storage doors ever since.
And yeah, the door's shut. I'm like, why'd you got to tell me that for? What was that? And then, the follow-up to that story is I saw him again, and he apologized. Did I tell you that or no?
No.
I told you he left me feeling all like.
No, but I didn't know you didn't tell me he apologized.
The follow-up to that story is eventually I saw this idiot again. And he's like, hey, man, I felt really bad about that conversation we had. And now I'm in an awkward conversation because of his awkward fucking shit mouth. I didn't ask if anyone died in my house.
Hey, man, sorry last time I saw you. I told you someone died in your house.
I felt like it rattled you a little bit. I didn't mean I was like, it's all good. It's all whatever. Just don't talk to me again. So when small talk goes wrong, and sometimes it's funny, and it's like, why did I say that? Like, for what? Just to keep conversation going? I imagine that happens to you all the time.
Yeah, it does.
Because Rich has this urge or this like pressure on him that he puts on himself to like continue the conversation.
No doubt.
To be friendly guy and everything. So I felt the Rich Davis inside. You're like, oh, let me get a conversation going. I'm just trying to be a nice guy, I guess. Right? And I'm good at that small talk when I have to. When I have to, I'll put the charm on.
And by the way, I just got back from a wedding, and that is a it's a Steve Harvey Family Feud top 5 answer on the board. Where do you have to have forced conversation? Not that it's bad, but
hell, where you from? I'm from Minnesota.
Do you know,
man, Carlos Correa, the twins now.
Do you know the bride or groom? Oh, I went to I've known the bride since we've been in the 3rd grade. Yeah, where you from? Oh, I'm down here in Georgia. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Where in Georgia? Oh, right there in Atlanta. Man, Freddie Freeman, what a shame, huh? But he won you a World Series.
Right now, cool. Matt Ryan, huh?
Oh, Matt Ryan, yeah. Oh, you know how it is, yeah.
So small talk, and then, something could be said, and you're like, oh, man, that was awkward as hell. So I sort of tried to moonwalk out of this, like it was not embarrassing. Yeah. And I tried to, when you trip and you just try to like walk it off.
Yeah.
I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, all right, I tried and I failed, big deal. But then Jordan was like, that was weird. And I was like, all right. The backstory is this. Jordan took my car out and she hit a trailer.
Pulled my back out.
And
Yeah.
she put a hole in my car.
Yeah, I went to Covino's car. I'm sure you've seen this because you leave.
Do you have a photo of it?
No.
Because
Jordan might.
You leave the house you leave our studio every day with Covino when you go home. I saw it the other day when I walked to Covino's car with him just because we were chatting. I'm like, holy shit, what happened? And it is, I checked one thing. I was like, oh man, the damage overlaps panels. Because sometimes if it damages just one panel, I could replace that one like panel. But the damage overlapped like 3 panels. So I'm like, oh.
Either way,
Yeah, no,
it happened and it was an accident.
Yeah,
and
accidents happen. She's safe. Everyone's fine.
The only thing I was mad about was that she was now taking it upon herself to be like, don't worry, because I'm going to fix it. And like, I appreciate that, but I just felt bad that she had to waste her money.
Yeah, but at what point is her money your money and your money her money? When you're married, like, do you still separate
either way,
shit?
like,
You're gonna make her pay for your car?
Yeah.
You're like, Jordan, give me
Nothing to do with
thousands
it.
of dollars?
No, she's fixing it. It's not my car. It's a lease. I have to get it fixed. So it's not like I can return it with like, sorry about the bullet hole.
I'm just saying, at what point is your money her money and her money your money? Because I find that not peculiar.
It is, but it's, she
Say that again.
does a lot for her money. I make a lot more money. It's like, I don't want you to waste your money. And that's how I feel too. That's probably my like it just sucks that you have to spend money on an accident. It was just an accident.
And his wife still separate their finances.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want that to turn into the conversation because I know he has another point, I'm sure, but
it's not even, it's not even a thing.
No, I just know that I'm saying,
I just don't want her to pay for it.
I'm just saying there comes a point that you're probably very close to, which is like if Sarah bumped our car, it might as well have been me bumping the car.
Jordan's a very independent person in that way, where she has her money and that's her money.
Yeah, but when you're married, it's no longer that, as you know.
I mean,
I'm saying you're at the tail end of this. If
my point in bringing it up was the bullet hole is not what made me feel bad. I didn't give a fuck. I don't care. It's the fact that like, oh man, now we have to pay for this, or she has to pay for this, and it was more, I don't want you to pay. So I felt bad. Anyway, she's like, yeah, but my aunt knows a guy, and he could probably get it done for cheap. Like he used to work at a body shop or whatever.
My first thought is, well, Honda approve of this person's work. That's the number one thought I have, because you're handing this lease back, so it might look good, but the Honda person might be like,
this definitely went down in a parking lot.
Yeah, no, this was not shady, but I had to go to this guy's house.
I mean, keep in mind, this is the same car that he had buffed out from someone in a parking lot.
Which, by the way, I'm getting that fixed from this guy too.
There you go.
Might as well, right?
So I don't think Honda will approve of anything.
So I already had damage on that side of the car, as I told years ago.
It's like you order the OEM parts and you just put them in. So I'm sure it's just someone doing the work with stock parts.
So anyway, I met this guy, and it's not like a family friend. It's just a guy that they know.
The only problem you would ever have is if there was frame damage, and it sounds like there isn't.
No, it's just a bullet hole and a dent that I made years ago. So I've had this car 4 years now. I'm probably returning it in August. So
you ever think about buying out that car?
I think about it because
might as well.
Yeah,
at this point.
I might. It's not impossible.
You have low mileage on it, and you are beyond the. You said it recently that like the idea of having a fancy car just for the sake of it is very 20s or 30-year-old thinking. Like you're like, what do I need?
You've had the money, I might. But
you've defeated the point of a lease because you keep extending the lease. And
you might as well buy it out now.
I know they're giving you the option, but like. The point of a lease is to have a car for 3 years and then just get a new one. You're just keep extending it, extending.
An extra year. Just an extra year.
No, he's right though. You're right. At some point,
because the pandemic happened, and I,
like what's your?
I wasn't driving anyway.
Do you know your buyout amount? Like whatever. I forget what they call it.
But the move nowadays is to buy out the lease and sell it for more.
Yeah, because cars are so
exactly. That's what a lot of people are doing. That's the trend.
That's why we bought our Volt.
You buy out whatever
we bought our CRV, and I realized just the other day I was like, yeah, I think I'm like close to paying it off, and I was like, oh, that would be sweet, no car payment, because we've had that Honda for 6 years now.
Let's say my buyout is $12,000.
Yeah,
I could probably sell it for like 18. Is the thinking? Like, yeah, just buy it and sell it.
But is it the situation where if you were to get a new car, it would cost more?
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah. So
thing is, I don't want a car to own. I just don't. So, long story short now, went to see this guy to drop the car off, and dude, I immediately knew this is the type of guy, just by the look of him.
Cash
is
money.
the type of guy that would hate me. Like, because he was originally dealing with Jordan, and Jordan's very all-American looking, sweet looking, just all-American. And then all of a sudden I get out of the car and here I am, sunglasses. I just felt more Hispanic than I normally feel in this guy's presence. You know what I mean? Like this guy, I felt like he looked at Jordan. He's like, I'm going to give her a nice deal, nice American. And then this guy comes out of the car and he's like,
you're all mixed up with a Mexican?
Yeah, like, I felt like he was
I don't
very,
know. I didn't sign up for this. What is a good white girl like you mixed up with a fella like him?
And again, I'm judging him the same way I felt like he was judging me, in all fairness. He could be the nicest guy ever, but the look of this guy and the way he looked at me, and I could tell, like, he's like, I'm going to help this white girl out, nice little white girl. Who the fuck is that? And I get out of the car with my stupid fucking man bag and like sunglasses. Like, hey, I couldn't have been more Mexican in this guy's eyes. See, that's the thing. Everyone views me as, I don't know, as me, right? This guy saw me as, God damn, who the fuck is Mexican? Right? I felt it. You know how I know I'm right? I said it to Jordan. She's like, yeah, completely. But like, this guy was such an exception. He looked like a carny. You know, he looked like fucking, he worked at the carnival on the fucking weekend. Who the fuck is this guy?
Habla inglés? Are good.
Yeah, I don't speak Mexican. Well, neither do I. Hey, nice to meet you, bud. Right? So I'm like, all right. I saw the look of this guy.
You probably had your AirPods in, your sunglasses on, and you were probably like sipping a coconut milk coffee. Like,
but I felt the difference. I was the different guy walking into this scenario. Jordan is like, yeah, and then I hit the thing. He's like, oh, don't worry about it.
I got you, white girl.
I come out like, hey, what's up?
Just wear a low cut top next time.
So I couldn't have felt more like he was like, oh, this is the guy he chose. Must have been how you were raised or something. Oh. Right. So anyway,
your parents know.
By the way, let me see that estimate again. Double.
Sorry, no tortillas. I'm like, hey man, I'm not all that Mexican.
It's gonna be we gotta be another hour or so fixing this up. There's a taco stand down the block if that's what you want.
Yeah. So anyway, I felt that way. But so how do you combat this feeling? I'm like, well, I'm gonna kill him with the Rich Davis charm. I'm good at that.
Ooh.
I am good at that. Despite how I get on Rich because he can't shut up, and when I have to be that guy, I'm that guy. This is Melody's friend's parent. Hey, what's up? Hey, nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm Steve. I'm very good in that way, right? So I see this dude. I'm like, oh, this guy hates me. I could tell. Look at this guy. He hates me. I'm gonna kill him with the kindness, with the Rich Davis. So I do the Rich Davis, hey, and
how's it going?
He's wearing a Kiss t-shirt, right? So I sized it. All right. Kiss, racist, let's go. So I sized him up, he sized me up, and I'm like, yo, man, Kiss, that's a great shirt. Yo, I've never seen Kiss live. I go on this whole thing, right? Hey, thanks for hooking us up. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's a shame what happened.
In fact, they played at a rock festival this summer.
I go on and on. It was just announced they're playing at Rockville with Guns N' Roses, Van Halen, and it was just announced they're going to do Louder Than Life with Alice Cooper.
First band to really work the whole merchandising thing. Man, Kiss, Gene Simmons. Oh,
this guy who looked like your typical knuckle-dragging Kiss festival fan. I was like, he didn't even entertain. Like, yeah, they are pretty good. He was like, I don't know Kiss. I just picked this shirt up at a flea market. And I'm like, oh. I was like, wah, 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 wah. So I tried to moonwalk out of it. So yeah, man. So the damage, I appreciate you. Your body. I heard you're great. You do great repair work. So I moonwalk out, and then I get in the car to try to pretend like that never happened. Jordan was like, that was kind of embarrassing how he was like, he didn't even like Kiss, and you tried to relate on Kiss. I'm like, yeah, why do you got to bring it up?
You pulled the when Rich Davis goes wrong.
When small talk goes wrong. The end. That was it. That's really
man.
it. If you have other examples, but like
Yeah,
sometimes
Pavarotti.
it just doesn't pay. You know, so I mean, the guy was wearing a Kiss T-shirt. It's not my fault.
That's why I don't talk to people.
Yeah, you know what, Spot? That's exactly what I said
That's
to
why I was
Jordan.
like,
I said that's why I mind my business and I don't like people, and that's why I don't talk to people, because he's wearing a Kiss T-shirt. I'm like, okay, I know a lot about Kiss. I'm a rock host. I know he probably doesn't think I am. Bam.
Try it
And
with
he
the-
was like, "Yeah, I really don't like it much. I just picked this shirt up at a flea market."
Are you into Mike and the Mechanics? You're a mechanic, right?
Act it out right now with Rich's shirt.
Enrico Palazzo. Oh,
I tried and failed.
big fan of Naked Gun.
Tried and failed.
No, got the shirt at Target.
And I got in the car. Jordan brought that up. I'm like, you know what? I said I was trying to be nice. That's why I don't talk to people. But I feel, I felt dumb about it a little bit.
Tried. Hey,
All right,
put yourself out there.
all
Good
right,
for you.
as an annoying guy, right here.
It happened. That must
No,
happen. all
as
the
an
time.
annoying guy like me, I will say that happens 1 out of 10 times. But the other 9
Yeah.
times, you make a social impression and you make progress with what you're trying to do. The 1 out of 10 times, you're like, man, that went south.
Yeah,
It's a numbers game for you. That must happen like 5 times a day.
No joke. Like any small talk, when small talk goes wrong, I'll be honest, it's like a 10% scenario. It's like 1 out of 10 times you pick the wrong scenario, the wrong topic.
It was so awkward. And I was like, yeah, I figure gotta see him now, or they're.
Oh,
who knows? Probably their last one. I was like, yeah, I guess they're kind of old.
I mean,
Then we both sat there like, anyway, yeah. So it's gonna cost, I was like, oh man, that was weird.
wait, I gotta recrunch the numbers on this. All right, it's Mexican.
Hold on, you talk to your Mexican. I'll be right back. I'm like, my name's
Mexican.
Steve. Thanks.
Awkward conversation.
No, sometimes you try to find a commonality that you think is such a universal. You try to find like a universal, like who's going to disagree with this, and you find the one person
That's what happened.
that does. Like, man, love living out here in LA. I mean, I miss my family back east, but I mean, how can you not love the weather, right? Well, I miss the seasons. I disagree. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, have a good day now.
I
Bye
was just trying to have small talk. That's
now. I
all.
was not trying.
Dude didn't even crack a smile. I came in all smiles, trying to be nice.
Yeah, you should have told them the Gene Simmons series story. That would have been a laugh.
I didn't care.
Marcus.
Gene
Simmons,
Simmons, I don't care if it's
You care about
flea
Kiss.
market.
No, but I'm saying you could have like made it funny, like, oh yeah, I Kiss sucks. Yeah, let me tell you about Gene Simmons.
Nah, he didn't.
He's a douche. I had him on my show.
You know what I do? I do.
I feel like he was gonna. The more I talked, the more he was gonna charge me.
You know what I do?
You know?
Yes.
I do something. It's like a barrage of stroking and compliments when I'm dealing sometimes with someone.
Whoa.
Give me a profession spot that I'm dealing with. Anything.
Let's see.
Magician.
I was gonna say a hair cutter.
Oh, hair, fine, perfect. Barber.
A hair cutter.
Yeah. I mean, Addie's our guy, so I don't need to small talk over and we'll just talk about bullshit. But let's say it's a new barber.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say it was just awkward. Yo, man.
Put it the barbecue beefcake.
Pretty wild. Like, what a skill you got, huh? Like, I'm just saying, like, you could just, it's amazing. Like, got to stay up on hairstyles. How do you, when you were a kid, did you have like skills with scissors? I don't know. I just feel like you could throw compliment bombs.
He really has really great clip over comb technique.
He does.
Clip over comb. That's what it's called.
He's got great technique.
I'll tell you what, man. Being a barber has got to be wild, man. You can make your own schedule, but once you got your clientele and like, truthfully, it's
You know what you should bring up? The kid with uncombable hair.
Oh,
Have you seen that kid?
Yeah.
Uncombable hair.
You can do it a barber. Like, you see, the world of hair cutting, crazy. You see on social media, like Vic Blends and these guys that chop hair with swords and knives, and the barber like, yeah, I've seen those videos. And yeah, you could make.
I'm a big fan of Andrew
small
Barber
talk
from Full Health.
with anyone. Now,
Play Kimmy Gibbler.
I'm being serious, but you could make conversation like that 9 out of 10 times. The person will bite. The 1 out of 10 times, the barber will be like, I don't have social media, so I don't know what you're talking about. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It's awkward as hell. So, hey, that's the risk that Rich takes. So you got to give him credit because I avoid that feeling. But in this moment, I had to, present as this charming fella. Trying to get a deal on my car.
Meeting the friends of friends at a wedding that you don't know. It's a true test of these special skills. Yeah. Because they'll be like, Oh, this is the groom's cousin. Oh, hey, what's up?
I got a cousin.
Who do you know? Like, who do you know at the wedding? And then after you know who you know at the wedding, then it's until someone pulls the ripcord and is like, all right, I'm gonna go get a drink. Hey, listen, it was great. Until someone says, yo, hey, it was great meeting you, great talking. I'm gonna go get a drink and find my wife. Until someone says that, it's a game of like what are we gonna fill this time with?
You can't, and sometimes too, it's you don't mesh with
You're
the
good
person.
in these scenarios. You downplay it.
No, I am, and I talk to people, but sometimes the conversation, like, you don't click, and that's okay. And like, I was at a friend's party recently outside of our circle.
Yeah,
and it was outside of the person's party that I went to. I didn't know anybody else there, so you just kind of like. You talk to them, and you talk about what you do, and eventually it leads to another conversation.
Is that when you quit though? If you swing and miss, do you quit, or should I have went for like round 2?
No, you swing and miss, you quit.
Really?
Sometimes.
What if I was like Mexicans? Am I right? Now we're talking.
No, you should be like, you know what I believe in?
Sometimes
Building that wall, right?
Now we're talking. Fuck yes, let's talk about Mexicans.
Now that I'm on this side, build that wall. Am I right?
Build that wall. I see. I should have went for it.
That's
But sometimes you hit a wall, and that's where you say, oh, I'm going to go grab another drink, or hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom, or you break it up, and you come back, either hope for a reset, or you just go talk to other people.
Jim Ramsey brings up a great point. We could wrap with this. He goes, professional talkers talking about talking, which is interesting because when you are at a wedding, and I remember yesterday I was making fun of the best man speech. The reality is I was talking to my buddy Bill, who was a really empathetic guy, but him and I were making eye contact like this is awful. And he goes, well, I go, explain it to me, Bill, because Bill's like one of the best dudes I know. And Bill goes, you know what? He's a business guy. He goes, you do radio and television. He goes, it could very well have been an accomplishment for that guy to just grab the microphone and not have a complete anxiety attack.
Of course.
He's like,
I would. And I do this for a living.
He's like, you got to always put yourself in the shoes and be empathetic to others. Like, well, what's their deal?
I tell that to Melody every day. Like, you're going to start realizing how different people are, honey. She's like, yeah, some kid came up to her and talked to her. Couldn't even like look her in the eye. She was telling me, I'm like, yeah, she's really shy. That's a big win for him to even try to talk to you.
I'm still a little bit socially awkward. I still get in situations where like I can feel it.
I never know
creeping around me, and I'm like, I try and get out of it, and then you have to realize
those failure spot like that I experienced in that moment. They are like deflating.
You have to realize that everyone else is in the same situation. Like, you know how like when you wear something and you're so aware of it, and you go out in public and you think everyone is staring at you.
Yeah,
everyone's just worried about themselves. They're not paying attention to you. Like, this is a message I as a yoga teacher I send to other people. Like,
they're all gonna laugh at you.
People think that like
everyone's looking at them. They're in class. They're paying attention to what they're doing. If you have a great ass, everyone is looking at you.
As the teacher,
you're like, I want to let everyone know here at Spot Yoga class, no one's looking at you except for you with the great ass. Everyone is looking at you through every mirror, but everyone else, no one's looking at you.
I want people to know that like people are so in their own heads. They're focusing on themselves, their own breathing, their positions, whatever.
It's a pimple theory. When you have a pimple, you think everyone sees it. No one sees it.
So if you realize that what you're trying to have a conversation, the person on the other end, doesn't matter how skilled they are at a conversation, they're trying to have a conversation with you. It's gonna, you're both in the same boat. So you just have to let that go.
You know what I have a hard time with? I have a hard time. I mean, you guys bust my balls, but I'm good in these social situations.
Rich has a hard time knowing when the conversation's over.
That is true. Sometimes I've been working on that. I know I've been getting better at it. What I'm having a hard time with, and I always have, is to what level of eye contact do you make? Because you can't be avoiding eye contact, person, but you can't be like, yo, what's up? Like total eye. Like I have
Uncle Phil on Bel Air said that real men make eye contact.
I learned a skill a long time ago from my.
But there's some people that are too eye contacty, and other people that are like they don't look you in the eyes. Like I feel like
I have trouble with
to have a conversation with someone with just the right amount. Like look at me now. I know it's awkward to tell you to look at me, but if I'm talking to you, if I look away for a second, but then look back at you, if I looked at you the whole time in the eyes, that would be awkward. But if I didn't look at you at all, it would be awkward. So you have to do this. Jumping back and forth routine.
Allow me to share a skill I learned many years ago from my dating cult. You know how you're looking at someone and you kind of you consciously are flipping back and forth between eyes because you're like, where do I look? Where do I look? Where do I look? Where do I look? If you simply just focus on their like right eye, let's say, focus on one eye and then you will not be doing that like where you're looking at the left and
weird.
right eye.
You're right. It's less weird.
It is less weird.
Focus on the right eye or the left eye if you feel more comfortable with the left eye.
Nibble.
Yeah, you just so like Covino, look at me. So I'm, we're just talking, and I'm not. My eyes aren't shifty.
Yeah.
I'm just focusing on your right eye, and my eyes aren't looking back and forth. So it's
No,
I'm not
it's
doing
not.
that.
That's a good tip spot, but I really do think
not
it
doing
is a
that
Can you
combination.
shake your eyes real fast like this? Can you do that?
No, that's as much as I can go. What?
Watch mine. My God,
Wait,
he does this.
do
like,
it in the camera.
to the camera. It's like
Nah, you can't see
it's
it.
hard.
Do it in the
but
camera.
He
I
has
can
like
make
a,
my pupils go.
he has a little flutter. Here, Spot, let me try. Spot, you want to try?
And by the way, Lisa Pragio, I think she's the best. She's great, and she's one of our favorites for sure.
Yeah.
But her takeaway is so like not what I was getting across.
Which
at
is
all.
what?
Go back up. She was like, "I'm worried about people thinking I'm Mexican." No, this is one particular guy.
Yeah,
I was
this
getting
is
vibe
reading
from.
the scenario.
And I was right because Jordan backed me up. Like she was like, "Yeah, that's totally the type of guy that was sizing you up."
Yeah, no, eye contact
That was
is
a rare moment.
Eye contact is a struggle for everyone. So just know that. Everyone feels the same way. All right, phone call. Who we got? Ding dong.
Oh,
Bing bong.
Greg.
Yo, Greg, what's up?
Oh wait, sorry, I gotta turn off the music. Go.
2 quick questions here. I don't know if you're doing a Rando news segment today, but there was a video released yesterday of a truck driving through a tornado in Texas.
You're really
Pretty
passionate
wild.
about this
Spot
video
should-
because you've said it multiple times.
Yeah, Spot should look that up and show you. It's crazy.
Okay.
Hey, maybe it's great.
And the other thing I've wondered for quite a while is that scream at the end of your intro. Where does that originate from?
The song that's the intro song.
It's called Dimension
That's the
by
intro?
Wolf Mother.
Okay.
Yeah, Wolf Mother Dimension. There is
yeah.
a scream in the song.
Wow. Yeah, it's the guy.
Yeah, okay.
I could.
It's a great
You can
song.
pull up that video and show it. It's insane.
All right.
Truck through a
Rando news
tornado.
thing.
Let's get into the rando news.
Oh, are we
of
jumping?
the
I feel
day.
like we have topics that we haven't gotten to in the past 3 days.
Yeah, I mean, is there
But
anything in the
rando
news?
news of the day doesn't mean the show's over.
It usually does.
No.
Usually it's the wind down.
I try
It's
to
the
do
wind
it
down.
like.
But we have to get to.
We have to get to a bunch today. Honestly, I scoured the what do they call it? The World Wide Web. I was on the interwebs all morning, and I tell you, there's very little. So we could zip through the random news quick. Go ahead.
Yeah. Spot. Nike debuted a new ad that I feel like I've seen before, but it is kind of mind blasting. Snooze. Welcome to our rando snooze. It's Covino and Rich. Now, this
Nike?
happened. Yeah, this is kind of cool, I think.
Holy shnikes.
Our buddy Rudy, remember his wife used to sniff his undies?
You got to let that go.
No, I'll never forget that. Rudy in Texas. Rudy. Agrees this is super sick. Nike released its first 3D ad in Tokyo to celebrate Air Max Day. So 3D ad, billboard, like Times Square style.
You think that's cool? Have you seen this truck going through a tornado?
Well, we're going to see that, I hope.
Well, they have these in they have these in Times Square
Yeah,
now.
I feel like I've seen them, but this one is pretty sweet.
So the way the screen is, it's usually around a corner. And so they create the digital effect of 3D. So everything's set back, but then it looks like it's coming out.
It's pretty dope.
It's cool. Here's the video.
Again, check it out. Look.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
very Back to the Future, too.
They do
Pretty
these in Times
sweet.
Square now.
What?
It really does look like it's popping out. Like, look at that. Watch.
Oh.
Yeah, it's badass. So, hey, enjoy your Nike Air Max Day.
It's pretty cool.
I saw this, Rich, and I thought of you. There was a Taco Bell employee who got in a feud with a customer. This was from Daily Mail, I believe.
Let me tell you, last night on my way home from the Magic Castle, I can't say that I tried to be good. Because Sarah and I had every intention, like, yo,
You went for a expensive meal and you still went out to eat after?
He went from Magic Castle to White Castle.
Are you serious?
Spot.
How could you? When I have a big dinner,
We had
I can't eat for even the next day.
Rich went to really
I
White
had
Castle.
fish and vegetables for dinner at 6 p.m. I was getting home at 1 a.m. We passed McDonald's and Taco Bell, and both are closed. And I'm thinking, are we really on a shortage of workers to the point where fast food is now closed at 1 a.m.?
Yeah.
It was better for my physique, but let me tell you,
the answer is yeah.
I was I was like, Sarah, what do we want? Do you want some French fry? Do you want to split a large fry at McDonald's? Or do you want to get a gordita crunch?
I'll have a large pie fry, large coffee.
And, help me stick to the routine because they were both closed.
Luckily, Taco Bell is closed because you might get punched out. So this disgruntled guy, fuck you, Taco Bell guy. Taco Bell's like, oh yeah, bring it on, is it? And let's see what happens. Look.
Oh my God.
Damn. That was the employee?
Yeah. And he killed him. I'm just so amazed that the guy was knocked out after that. I guess he dropped him on his head, but still.
Did he?
You killed him.
Call the police.
What a move. The guy swung and missed.
The
employee picked him up.
Look,
here's what I don't get
so here
though.
comes the
When
guy.
he was getting picked up, he couldn't do anything? Watch.
All right, here it comes.
Yeah, he comes at him hard. Watch
Comes
this.
at him, knocks shit over. Tries to swing at him. This guy lifts him up, slams him down.
Is his head hit? I missed him. I thought his shoulder hit, but I guess his head. I thought his head
probably
hit. I
the
guess.
side of his head, maybe.
Rich, I'm with you, man. But he
I thought it looked like his
Damn.
shoulder got the brunt, but he's passed out, man.
Probably hit his, like the shot in the jaw.
Yeah, well, you know what? Don't fuck around with people.
Don't fuck around with people.
Chill the fuck out. It's Taco Bell.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
You know what? You said it. Kid Rock was in the news. He had a sit down with Tucker Carlson. I've been seeing clips of this. I believe it aired last night. The two takeaways were, you can't cancel Kid Rock. He says, you can't cancel me, and I love when they try. He's the uncancelable Kid Rock. He tells the whole world, fuck you, right? That's just how he always has been, and I'm okay with that. But I sent you the clip, the other viral clip of Kid Rock, Rich, your spot. He says that Donald Trump sought his advice on North Korea and Islamic states. That was the other takeaway. Donald Trump went to Kid Rock.
I'm sorry, what?
For his opinion on how to handle North Korea.
Dinner last night, and you rolled up in a Rolls Royce, the Let's Go Brandon edition.
Yes.
So for
With a Waffle House plate.
With a Waffle House plate. So for our viewers who might want the Rolls Royce Let's Go Brandon edition, where can you get one?
You go on this thing called Google and you type in, car badges. Let's Go Brandon. And there's companies that come up. On my truck, I got one that says White Boy Edition. There's all these crazy things, but it looks official. So, I would never drive a foreign car, be driven. I used to just say to myself, I'm so proud, for how hard I work and, what I charge people for shows is what I think is fair because I can hold my head high because I feel I've never made an honest dollar off of working man's back.
Well,
so I get Rolls
That's
Royce.
Kid Rock.
Oh,
so
that's
I might have sent you the wrong clip.
That's the clip you sent me. That's
still
Kid
funny.
Rock.
However,
Sorry.
again, the takeaway was you can't cancel Kid Rock. He drives a
Let's Go
Rolls
Brandon
Royce
car.
to say "Let's go Brandon," and Donald Trump sought his advice on North Korea and Islamic State. So that was kind of funny. So Kid Rock is in the news again, and it's all probably to promote his new album, which they're saying is kind of dope because it's back to the Devil Without a Cause roots, like the rap rock shit that he did.
I'm not saying I said it, but everyone said it months ago when Kid Rock said some shit at a concert. You can't cancel someone who
doesn't give a shit.
No, not who doesn't give a shit. You can't cancel someone whose core audience doesn't care. Like if Kid Rock said some shit about gay people on stage, it's inappropriate, it's insensitive, but do you think the core Kid Rock fan is like, well, Kid Rock called someone gay as a joke. We're not loving Kid Rock anymore. Kid Rock's fans
Is it wrong for
don't
me,
care.
though, Rich, to say that, yeah, I don't agree with everything Kid Rock stands for, but I think he's a cool dude. The fact that he doesn't give a fuck, to me, is cool.
I don't know if Kid Rock's a cool dude. I think Kid
No, but
Rock
the
has
fact
some
that
cool
he
music, but I think
doesn't-
he's sort of like a trash bag.
But
as
I
a
do
person.
like his music. I don't care.
You think Kid Rock is a person you'd get along with in
No,
life?
I don't.
But
I
he has
don't
good
know.
music.
I think you'd have a fun
I
night
just
with
don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but you think
about
you
what he
and Kid
thinks.
Rock have the same?
I'm saying, is it wrong for my question is it wrong for me to not care about his opinions on this shit?
Yeah,
and just think he's cool for his attitude, his persona as an artist.
Why haven't you been canceled? People aren't allowed to say what they think. You are.
I am uncancelable.
Why's that?
Because I don't give And I'm not in bed with any big corporate things at the end of the day. There's nobody I'm beholden to, no record companies, no corporate interests, no nothing. And you can't cancel me. I love it when they try.
I mean, I think that's a cool statement. He's uncancelable, but
because he at least is honest about
his audience.
He
will never abandon.
He owns it.
His audience are firm believers in his beliefs.
But think about who's canceled, right? People that
that are mainstream
on one front and then do another.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I
this
agree.
guy's like, yeah, this is just, I own it and this is it.
All right.
And there's something cool
All right, give me
about
someone
that, even
mainstream.
though I don't agree.
If someone mainstream went on stage and they use like some gay or homophobic slurs, you'd say that person gets canceled because I'd imagine their audience consists of a variety of people with different backgrounds. Kid Rock, no one that loves Kid Rock is going to stop loving Kid Rock because he said something about anyone. Because Kid Rock fans are cut from a cloth.
He's way past his prime. Like we all know that.
Come on.
But he is coming out with some new stuff. So there you go.
Bro, come on.
Speaking of music,
Broski
Lollapalooza was announced, Rich. Chicago.
Hey, Chicago.
And some pretty big names. Dua Lipa, Metallica, Green Day, Machine Gun Kelly.
Ooh, that sounds like a good one.
Just throwing it out there. We've been talking a lot about that. July 28th through the 31st, Grant Park, Chicago. Metallica, Dua Lipa, J. Cole, Green Day, Doja Cat.
Dua Lipa.
Doja Cat's ass cheeks. Machine Gun Kelly, Little Baby, Kygo, Glass Animals.
I like Kygo.
The Kid Leroy, not Kid Rock. The Kid
You know
Leroy.
Glass Animals, that song Heat Waves?
Of course.
Spot, play it for a second.
It's on my alt vault playlist.
I just want to bring up a point about this song.
We played it when we were still on Sirius XM.
Bro, this song
is old as hell.
That's his point, though.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you. This song,
but that's what I hate about pop radio. I do.
Pop radio.
Then where is it playing?
It's nothing to do with pop radio. Heat Waves, Glass Animals, has been in the mix for like 2 years. But here's the fun of it. It never got so annoyingly catchy where you got sick of it. It simply won't go away. Like, you know how sometimes a song will be really popular and then you get burnt on it, no matter what the genre, hip hop, rock, pop, like it's so popular that eventually everyone's like, all right, we've had enough. This song has just sort of lingered.
Like you feel it still?
To the point, yeah, like Portugal the Man, Feel It Still, was around for like 2 years.
Yeah.
But no, here's the funny. It's not about pop music being behind because the Hot 100 for Billboard, the formula is record sales, radio play, and streams and stuff like that, right? Glass Animals
got a pretty good stream.
Last week finally hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. And you're thinking, yeah, that song's been out for 2 years, but it wasn't the Taylor Swift put out a new song, it's number 1 for a month, and then everyone's completely done with it.
That's what's beautiful about the slow burn, the slow build.
Yeah, but you know what kept them out of the number 1 spot?
That's Covino and Rich.
They were number 2 for 5 weeks behind We Don't Talk About Bruno. And they finally made it to number 1. I was thinking to myself, imagine their story when they were like old was like, we had a number 2 hit. It's that fucking Bruno song. But they finally beat Bruno. So Glass Animals, Heat Waves is the number 1 song in the country right now on the Hot 100.
Coming in at number 1.
Well, not on the Weekend Countdown. On the Hot 100. Different countdown.
Maxim's Hot 100? Random.
Yeah.
Random.
Yeah, Heat Waves.
already.
Brett said Heat Waves is still a banger. There's something about it. It's a good weed smoking song. That's from Alejandro. It's a good pop song. It's a good like alt rock song, but it's not. I don't know how to describe it. It's catchy, but not catchy where you get sick of it in a month. It's a very odd. You gave a great analogy. Like still the Portugal the Man. Feel It Still was one of those songs where you're like, good song. I really don't get sick of it. It's just sort of there.
Some songs are so dope, I never get sick of them. 2 always come to mind for me. Cult of Personality by Living Colour.
It's a great song.
And it is a random one, but it's true. Maybe because it's from the year 5000. But Power Man 5000, When Worlds Collide, to me is just still a cool song.
This is what it's like when worlds collide. This is what it's like.
Yeah,
you know, from the Turbo.
I only know
world.
that song because of you.
You know what? You know what?
You ready to go? You ready?
You know what pop song is super catchy, but again, it never bothered me. Like I could listen a million times.
Putting on the Ritz by Taco?
It's years old now.
Yeah. Putting on the Ritz
Bruno
by
Mars,
Taco.
Uptown Funk.
Oh.
Like it just
That's so overplayed.
I
that
know, but
do
it's
get sick of it.
I mean it doesn't. But even when it is overplayed, I'm like, I could tolerate it.
It's a great
that's why
song.
that's why he told the DJ to play it this weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
We mentioned it before. Matt Ryan.
DJ Phil.
Matt Ryan's a cult. So where does Baker Mayfield go now? A lot of stories today about Baker Mayfield being like, well, what the fuck?
sorry.
Now what?
Hold on.
No. This is the only sports thing I'm bringing up.
Hey, it's still sports.
Sports.
People get on me when I don't transition. So
listen out for the developing story of Baker Mayfield. And I find it unfortunate, too, that the Cleveland Browns got rid of the guy. Look, it's a business. I get it. But the word I was searching for the other day was he sort of built the identity of that team and how it is right now.
Speaking of Baker, did you see the new show on Netflix? Is It Cake? #1 trending.
Yes.
I thought of you.
Can't wait to watch it.
It looks great because they have to guess from enough distance where they can't look it up close.
Right? Yeah. Is it cake?
It's like, is it a shoe or a cake? And it's
funny.
Is it cake?
Some of them spot in the preview.
Can't tell.
These bakers are such design experts.
Remember when we talked about that on ESPN?
Yeah.
When it became
It was a trend a couple of years ago.
It's like, this cake is so well done. Is it a purse?
Yeah.
Or is it really cake?
And it's
then
always
they
the
cut
texture.
it and it's cake. Ah.
Like from here, so like that boxing glove behind you, right?
Is it a boxing glove or is it cake?
That could easily be cake from this distance. If done right, that could be cake.
Cake.
That Mariano Rivera's statue could be cake.
Cake. They cut it open. You're like, I was wrong. It's cake. I can't believe it was cake.
It was cake the whole time.
Jordan and I are going to get together and watch that. We're going to binge that together.
They must use Cutco knives on this show because how else can you cut open a boot? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
And the final story is just an update.
In sports, the Bucks, because Tom Brady re-signed and he's coming back to the Bucks, that just confirmed that Godwin and now Leonard Fournette reached a 3-year deal. So guys want to come back and play with Tom Brady. And you and I were speculating Julian Edelman catching passes from Tom Brady on social media like, hey, good to hang with my buddy Tommy again. It's like, do you think he could still do it? He's been out of the league, I think, 2 years now.
Yeah, I think he could.
Edelman, I don't know.
Gave his
Sometimes you're
legs
done,
a
you're done.
rest
I don't know.
And maybe he's just helping his buddy take some warm-ups, but
I think he's not young either, man. I think he might be like late 30s now. How old is Edelman?
Edelman got banged up for sure, but great player, and you never, ever know. Never know.
Julian Edelman.
Working out with
I'm going to say
TB12.
37. What do you think it is?
Edelman?
35, though. 35.
See? So, thank you. The last story is just a follow-up from yesterday. We talked about how Rachel Ziegler, is that her name? Rachel Ziegler?
Yes.
She's the star of West Side Story, which I haven't seen yet, and I'm excited to watch.
How could you not have seen that?
You saw it?
No. But I feel like it's your people.
She didn't
I mean,
get...
the Puerto Ricans, but still.
She didn't get an invite to the Oscars, and West Side Story's nominated for like 7, I think. Either way, she's the main member. She's Maria in West Side Story. The follow-up is now people from the original cast of West Side Story are sort of like throwing it out there like, how is she not invited?
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. Because she's trying now, Rich. The thing is, she's trying to get a seat.
Yeah, if she wasn't trying, it would be like,
that's why it's a story. Not everyone's invited. We get that.
I mean, I want to go to the Oscars.
Yeah, but she's like, I'm like a big part of the movie.
And I want to go.
And they might win. And what if the whole cast is on? Like, why am I not in? So
Right.
she's
Like,
trying
it
to
might-
go. So now the guy that guy plays Riff. When you're a jet all the way.
He's giving up his ticket.
Officer Krumke guy? No,
Yeah.
the original Riff.
Oh.
Russ Tamblyn. And
Oh,
other
Russ
cast.
Tamblyn.
Yeah, and other cast members.
Amber Tamblin's father.
They're going out publicly saying like, this is ridiculous. Like, give this girl an invite.
Yeah.
You know what it's like?
She wants to go.
Since I hit the sports intro, you always say this. It's like there's no guarantee to get, once you make it to the Super Bowl, there's no guarantee you're going back next year.
Yeah, like look at Joe Burrow. You think he's going back to the Super Bowl next year?
That's the thing. This
This
could
is
be
the
her moment,
right. This
man.
is the equivalent of that in the movie world.
Right.
It's very
Red
unlikely
carpet.
that an actor will get back to the Oscars.
It's not easy. I'm
Within
glad
a
you
few
said
years.
that. I was
Yeah.
thinking about that yesterday.
That's a great analogy, Spot.
It's a really
welcome.
great analogy. It was a fantastic analogy, but I was thinking about like, this is a big moment.
Sport. Call me sport.
Officer Grumpy. Again. So Russ Tamblyn is like sticking his neck out with some other people. I don't know by name.
Remember when Larry David met an officer and his name was actually Krumke on Curb.
I remember that one.
Gee, Officer Crump. I never heard that.
That shit is so.
Yeah,
that's
it was-
so typical.
I
too.
play it for
Yeah,
HBO.
Krumke. Yeah, that's
HBO's
good. I like that.
Larry David actually has an encounter with an officer, Krumke, and the guy pretends like he never heard that.
It's a
Never.
Krumke. It's
HBO can be aggressive. I don't want to do
That shit is funny though.
now
But that's the follow up. That's your random news of the day. You know, enjoy your Taco Tuesday.
tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow is the day we save for some. Oh, you want to do like a raunchy Wednesday?
Oh, I got to show. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to show the video. The truck video.
Oh yeah,
yes, please. Truck through a
promised it.
tornado.
We promised. Truck
do
through the
wanna see
tornado.
it.
All right, you know what? The guy.
All right, so here's a tornado.
Whoa!
Driving down the street. Fox weather. There's the truck. See it spinning?
Oh yeah.
It's spinning, son. Flips over on its side. Right side up, and then just drives away. Like it actually was
Wow,
on
someone
its
was in
side,
that?
spinning around.
I gotta see that again.
Yeah, play it from the beginning. So the guy was in a truck that flipped.
So see the truck right there? It's right. Ooh, it's right there.
Oh my God! So
See, it's there.
the
Spinning
tornado
around.
spun this guy's car around, spinning him in his car. It
fell
goes
back
upside
on-
down, and then it spins it right side up, and he starts driving away again.
Yeah, I don't think. I think he was just on its side. Like, see, it's just on the side.
That's not what I was hoping for.
Right there.
I wanted to see that shit in the air like Wizard of Oz.
Speaking of which,
Yeah, like the cow and Twister.
the LA County Police are looking for the owner of. Did you guys see the self-driving Tesla that went over
it
a
wasn't
bump?
self-driving. There's someone in it.
Oh, there's someone in it, but I think they had an autopilot to see how it would handle it, and it did not.
I know. You know how I know that? My Citizen app. They put.
They're looking for this guy, but there was a Tesla that the driver let it go. They let it go into the auto mode to see how it would handle this big, I guess, hail and a jump. And watch this video if you could find this spot. It's pretty viral, but it's like some Dukes of Hazzard shit.
I didn't see it.
You didn't see this?
No, let's see it.
All right, so this car speeds up a hill.
Oh shit!
Wait, hang
No,
on.
that's not it.
No, this is it. Hang on.
Watch. Here we go.
You know what that's like? When the Puerto Rican guy took Cameron's car and Ferris
Here, look,
Bueller.
watch.
Damn it.
Again, spot.
Hold on. Let me go back. Let me get a better clip of that.
Yeah, no, it's a guy. He goes, it's going up a hill. And he's
I
going
see
so
it.
fast that the downhill comes too fast. So instead of just going down, projects into the air
It like launches.
and hits like parked cars and spins. And it's what happens to a car. You know, in a movie, that person would land and keep going and everything would be
I
great.
said it. Cameron in Ferris Day. Ferris
Yeah,
Bueller.
Ferris
yeah.
Bueller's Day Off.
What
All right,
country?
here
you
comes.
think
Here we go.
this
Ready?
is?
Watch
Here
it.
comes. This is the news clip. So pay attention.
What in the hell?
Tesla jumping again last night. First hit a neighbor's trash can, then struck someone's parked Subaru. It's our understanding that a Tesla meetup was put together by a YouTuber named Alex Choi for Saturday night. The YouTuber claims a random Tesla driver showed up and wanted to show him a place before where people have jumped Teslas. Neighbors say this is beyond unsafe and frustrating that police won't do anything about it.
Holy shit.
By the way, the two things about this story. One, the Tesla was rented. So the person
I'm
didn't
going to
even
beat
own
the
it.
shit out of this.
Second, the car they hit, the guy. First of all, this is not a cheap neighborhood. This is like a hipstery, like expensive neighborhood. But the guy whose Subaru was hit has a GoFundMe to pay for his bills.
What is the, what neighborhood?
Echo Park.
Echo Park.
No, it's Park.
Park. That's how you say it.
That's how you say it.
Yeah.
Clearly
Where do
you
you
don't know.
live? Park.
Echo Park.
That's how you know it's fancy.
That was one of the local pools in Long Island. And
People
I've
that
never
don't
heard
live-
anyone make that joke. So
People that
good
don't
job.
live there
40 years
call
later.
it Echo Park.
OG, bro.
Hey, tomorrow's going to be a Raunch Wednesday because we have a hypothetical about what you prefer, how you prefer to look at a woman's ass and legs. Like what summer and spring wardrobe
Like this.
get your jammy excited.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to that tomorrow. There's a hypothetical on a poll that someone put on social media. I think it's a dumb, funny conversation. We'll get to that tomorrow. And tomorrow I have a better picture of, well, I'll give you the choice. Mom update now and a girl dating theory.
I want mom update now,
Yeah.
and then we'll get into the raunch tomorrow.
Save the girl dating theory.
Raunch for an Ass Wednesday.
Okay.
Ass Wednesday.
So Ass Wednesday tomorrow is going to consist of
Ass Wednesday. Can't wait.
It has to do with a rule that women use in
Can we
dating.
tell all the women in our lives tomorrow's Ass Wednesday? So get ready.
Get ready for that. Ass.
They're like, what's that? There's like, don't worry about it.
Titties.
Just be ready.
Ass and titties.
Tomorrow's Ass Wednesday.
Ass, titties, ass and titties.
So tomorrow we go over
Big booty bitches.
a lot of relationship and booty talk.
Oh, by the way, give me your notepad. We don't need to zoom in on it.
Yeah.
Spot, you don't need to zoom in. Look at this fucking Diaries of a Madman. Look at
Every
this
day.
today.
That's every day,
no,
too.
This one's like aggressively dark.
Can I
Look
bring
at
back
that.
Doodle Cam?
Can you see that?
I
Like,
just
it's like really dark.
I just scribble. I mean, what do you want?
I want to bring back Doodle Cam.
They're really aggressive.
Maybe stop doing that. Can
Really
I bring
aggressive.
it back? Doodle Cam.
Which is like
Better than the Bachelor guy. Better than the Bachelor guy. Bachelor guy.
No, I make little shapes and I color them in. I mean, what do you want me to do?
Magic.
That was very dark. It's like I watch it every day. A lot of times, just like
You know what to do?
that's
I'll medicate myself for you guys, and I'll come in here like.
You know what it's like? Sometimes ever seen like a horror movie, and they're flipping through a notepad, and it's like it starts
something's
off
wrong with our
normal.
kid.
It
Yeah.
starts off normal, and then by the end, it's just like death or like die written in like letters like scribbled into the page. That's what that looks like.
Let's hear the mom update.
So, my mom's house closed. So she
That's
is
big.
Yeah,
That's big
big,
news.
big.
Finally.
That money pit.
Each.
She had an oversized Long Island like giant house for 2 people and her dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a shame. They're probably gonna knock that thing down.
Some of it, but it should be though. It was not taken care of. You know, it's in a cul-de-sac too, so it's a big piece of land. Yeah, it's honestly someone's gonna buy it, put a few hundo into it, few hundo thousand, and flip it and make a nice profit. It was a short sale, so they got it for the cheap.
And
And
the short sale took a long time.
yeah, a long time for a short sale. Someone will make a nice dollar off it. My mom's like, the guy the construction guy who bought it in the short sale is so nice. I'm like, yeah, he's so nice because you fucking gave him your house practically, and he's a construction guy. He's gonna fix it, and he's gonna make easily a few hundo off of you. So of course he's like, Marianne, I'll drive you to the closing. I'll pick you up. I'll buy you a beer, here's a coffee. He's so nice, Richie. I'm like, well, yeah. Right? I mean, correct? It's like my the guy who closed, the real estate agent who sold my house in Texas, sent me like a case of wine and a plant and a little thing for my pool, like a little Rich and Sarah's outdoor deck, like metal sign. And Sarah's like, well, that was so sweet of him. I'm like, babe, we dealt with this guy for 2 weeks and he made a commission off our house. And we literally dealt with this guy for 2 weeks. He should, like, a case of wine is the least he could do, no? Mo sucker got closing costs and his commission and everything because we were like, hey, hot market in Texas, can you sell our house in a week? Sure can. Why would he not send me wine in a fruit basket? Gave him the easiest money of his life.
For you, it's just called the basket.
For me, it's just a basket. So Marianne, mom, closed on the house. Short sale, long time.
That's the longest sale I've ever heard.
And so she gets her money for the closing, gets her relocation funds. Like when you short sell a house, you make a deal with the contractor and the bank and all that. And they usually will give you, they'll give you a cushion of money. Like, here's the money you get for the short sale. Plus, they usually give people $3,000 to $5,000 relocation costs. Like, it's sort of like the deal you work out with the bank and stuff, right? So here's where she's at right now. Remember, like a week ago, I said Port Richey, Florida. Port Richey was in her future.
Yeah, she was gonna go work at the, what was it, like the mullet club?
Yeah, you found the place called the Mullet.
Oh, the Dirty Mullet.
The Dirty Mullet was the bar.
Yeah.
No, my mom is looking at a few apartment, townhouse complex areas, right? And last her and I spoke about this. Much like every complex spot, you see this in LA. If they don't have availability right now, that could change on the daily. Like it's like we don't have a unit until April 18th or May 1st, but you could call tomorrow and they're like, oh yeah, we have one available now. They're like, it never takes as long as we tell you. So my mother's sort of liking this place. So she sort of wants to see if she could hold out until there's an available unit. And they're like, yeah, every week, to be honest, there's a new unit in this big place that sort of opens up. So my mom calls every day to get an update. Now, in the meantime, Butch and the dog are staying on Long Island.
Isn't that a radio show? And
yes.
Yeah, on Long Island. Butch and the dog on NEW. on BLI, WBLI.
It's Butch.
Butch and the dog in the afternoon. Butch and the dog afternoon.
Butch and the dog.
Sports Radio 66.
The Fan.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Butch.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Butchster?
WFAN.
Well, you know, doggy.
Butch and the dog.
Marianne is not here right now.
Finally,
That's crazy, Butchie.
finally got rid of the house.
Butch and the doggy. Butch and the mad dog. So
that was also a sex move I used in the 90s.
Butch and the dog?
Butch and the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was Butch and the dog all night, bro.
Yeah.
All night? Yeah.
So Butch and the dog are staying in Long Island at one
Butch
of
and
his...
the dog.
Stop it.
Probably at one of his biker buddies' houses or something. So Butch and the dog on Long Island. And my mom is going to stay with my sister for a week. So she's with Lori for a week.
Does Lori know this?
Yeah. I by the way, I had to take the butch by the horns. I had to take the bull by the horns and sort of be like, hey, here's the plan, siblings. If you're not in, then you're out. Like, are you in or are you out?
Cutting you off.
Well, like we said before in the beginning of the show, make the deal now, or if you wait too long, you're out of the deal. Yeah, we're making the deal. Lori has a newborn. My sister is a new mom. And my sister is going to have my mom over for a week. My mom's going to help her with the baby, just hang out. But my sister has a 1-bedroom apartment. So my mom's like, can't be there long because it'll be in the way. You know, like it's not. Mm-hmm. So, but, you know, to see her new granddaughter, my mom's going to stay with my sister for a week. Then she's with Lori actually today until Friday. Then she goes to Maryland for the weekend, for a long weekend, to visit my brother.
Does Jimmy know this?
Yeah, I told him that's what's going to happen.
He's renting an oot box. You know what an oot box is?
What's an oot box?
I saw it on Shark Tank.
It's like a grandma pod for the yard?
And it's like, you know, because people work at home now and people lift and do things at home, they need a separate space. You could buy or rent an oot box, and they just dump like an old trailer in your backyard.
Box?
Yeah.
Spell it?
Yeah. I'm going to have a OOT. I'm going to have mom stay in a new box.
Yeah. We got passed over. By the way, you know, we got passed over for a new opportunity at Fox. Butch and the dog.
Butch and the dog. Damn it. So Jimmy's keeping your mom in a new box?
Yeah. No, I
oh, it's pretty cool.
In the kindest possible way.
I kind of want a new box.
I rented a new box for mom. Jimmy, why don't you just let her stay inside? I don't know.
I put her in an oot box.
Honestly, I think I'd rather stay in the oot box.
You could buy or
than in
rent
that
these.
house.
Yeah. Oot
Got
box.
birds flying around. Jimmy's mother-in-law.
The thinking behind it is
Richie, where am I staying? Oh, well, Jimmy got you an oot box.
If you just need privacy, right?
Yeah.
I like that. That was a good idea. Way expensive though.
You know what it's like?
I'm sure.
You know what it's like in all office buildings now? Because no one uses landlines. In so many corporate offices, they now have little like privacy pods for people to take their phone calls, like little glass pods where you just awkwardly stand in there like,
well, this is for the person that works at home or wants to get like meditates or works out. And you know, they have kids and they get no privacy.
Standard pricing is $1,000 a month with a 4-month commitment.
Yeah.
That's a lot for an oot box.
Right?
That's like rent. That's like rent in most cities, not in New York or LA, but $1,000 for an oot box. How about an apartment? You know, in most places,
You can get a bigger one for $1,100 a month with a 4-month commitment.
So she's staying with Jimmy, not in an oot box.
Oot box.
Oot box.
And by the way, the good question from Jim Ramsey: where are my mom's possessions? My mom and Butch rented a U-Haul truck, and they rented for a couple months. I think it was like $100 a month, no contract. It was like $100 for a storage unit where they put some furniture and some of their like personal belongings, like old pictures. And
where's Butch's bandana collection?
In the storage unit as well.
Okay. I know he really loved that.
It's a box that says BB, Butch's bandanas. So $100 a month storage unit makes sense until they figure out the permanent move. But with my sister for a week, for people that care, then going to see Jimmy. And I didn't command it. I didn't like throw down the gauntlet.
All right, Carson Wentz.
But I was commander. Good one. I did say like, hey, mom's coming to your place this week. It makes sense. And like, I was waiting for him to be like, well, you know, I'm like,
nope.
I was like, mom's moving, most likely 99% to Florida. So she's going to see her family before she makes this big change in her life.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be with Lori for a week. She's coming to you for the weekend. And I was waiting for him to be like, say no, Jimmy, say no. He was like, oh, okay, let me just talk to Jocelyn. I'm like, okay, you talk to her. I was like, your mom will be there this weekend.
Jocelyn suggested an oot box.
So, is that Butch's bandana box or leather vest box? Hold on. So she's with Jimmy Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Cool.
And
I guarantee you, like, Jocelyn's just going to go away for the weekend.
No, but I said, listen, with all, and I bust my brother's balls a lot. He's got his own crazy world going on. And I was like, Jimmy, it's the right thing. We talked. Then we talked about, he's a big Broncos fan, like Mark in Colorado. So we talked about Russell Wilson. But I was like, all right, back to mom. It's the right thing to do. Like, I don't want to hear it any other way. Like, you know, you're doing the right thing. Let's, you know, we got to all team up like siblings to take care of this. Lori's for the week, Jimmy this weekend. And then a week from yesterday, Monday the 28th, my mom's coming out here. And Marianne will be out here in LA. Right. And at which point we will then scope out apartments. We will scope out a pre-owned car, a used car. We're going to scope out all her options. And then...
Wait, she's moving here?
No, she can't.
Oh.
But you know what? Sarah and I talked about
misused modifier.
Right? A misplaced modifier.
Misplaced modifier.
You said she's coming out here. I thought you were looking at places out here.
No. We're going to be scoping out places in Florida. And my mom has one relative that she talks to on social media that she hasn't seen in decades, but it was like her close cousin growing up. You know how your mom says she has family in Mexico that she hasn't seen forever? Mm-hmm. But my mom talks to this woman in South Carolina all the time, like my cousin. So my mom may actually go visit her for a week because she's always like, Marianne, come down here and hang. So Sarah and I came up with a game plan, which is...
What if she gets to Maryland and she's like, Richie, I love it here. I'm just going to stay.
I would love that more than anything in the world, just to see my brother's reaction.
But you know what? This oot box is really comfortable, and he had to get it for 4 months. So I'm just gonna stay in the oot box.
Oot box.
I talked to Sarah, and to wrap this up, we agreed that 10 days to 14 days would be the limit for my mom to stay here.
So you bought a one-way ticket to LA.
A one-way ticket to LA, and you know, our house is
in the middle of your street.
Is my sister has an apartment. My brother has a mother-in-law living there, and a kid that takes a lot of effort and stuff. So my mom's gonna be here a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then we'll. I think I'd imagine first week of April or so.
I think the bigger question is, where does Butch go when all this is happening?
Where does the Butch go?
Yeah. Where does the Butch go?
Where does the Butch go?
No, seriously, like they're so connected to the hip, right?
Leather vests and bandanas.
When your mom goes away for
Harleys and
like 3 weeks.
toolkits.
This is like a 3-week adventure. Where does the Butch go?
He's just with his buddy on Long Island, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I wonder if like
I'm on a cot and someone's shit.
I just wonder if
maybe this schism will be enough for you to like keep the wedge going.
No,
when she comes out here, you can really work on it.
I'm not. You know what? If she wants to be with Butch, so be it. My bigger thought is, if they're not together for a month, let's say she's at Lori's for a week, Jimmy's for a long weekend, and she's here for 2 weeks. Will she realize like, yo, life's okay? Well, she won't be on her own because she'll be around family. But I wonder, like, if she'll have any revelation, like,
right,
I miss Butch, or like, I don't need Butch. Like, I wonder what'll happen. But it'll be nice.
Life goes on without me.
I'm excited for her to be here. Sarah and I agreed, though, that we need to firmly stay together on.
Got
2 week, like 2 week, like 2 week limit the most.
It's a united front, Rich.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, I would love to take care of my mom, but I got 2 little kids. We have a house. We have our own life going on. We she's not like a disabled old lady that it's not that. If someone, you take care of your family if they're old and disabled or something, but she's capable, So
till 2 weeks and 1 day we show up, there's an oop box in the
there's
driveway.
an oop box in the side of the house.
Marianne's new bedroom.
Yeah, Mom.
It's a oop box.
So hey, have a great Taco Tuesday.
Man, we should send this clip to Oot Box. Maybe they'll sponsor us.
Yeah, what if I get a free Oot Box?
Butch is like, yeah, my friend put me in an Oot Box too. Like, no, Butch, that's a dumpster. smells a little here. Same shit.
It's an Oot Box without windows. It's got some rats and cockroaches, but I love it.
Yeah, I'm staying in one of those too.
Feel like I'm with my people.
Well, that's a great update.
Yeah, no.
But
So
now the pressure's on you when she's here to find a place and a car and all those things.
No, I can do that easily because
it's very hard to do remotely. A car, maybe, but like
but it's like a matter of calling apartment complexes and being like availability. Here's your online
the car
application.
you have to buy because
yeah.
No,
it's
just
so,
get a.
when I tell you like I'm looking for like a $3,000 or $4,000 20-year-old car with just something to get her.
Be careful, Rich, because I did the same.
Yeah, but I'm not getting like a cool fucking stick shift.
But it was still an old car.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying
it was
like
a 20-year-old car. It was a 20-year-old car.
Listen, what are you gonna do? All right, so enjoy. Maybe he'll brand his own. The Butch Box.
The Butch Box. Yeah.
Wait, I think that exists. Oh no, that's Butcher Box.
Butcher Box.
Butcher Box.
All right. Well, hey.
Thank you guys for all your feedback, for hanging out with us. Remember, some Behind the Velvet Ropes on our Patreon.
Maybe while she's here, she could earn her keep and do a daily Behind the Velvet Rope, the day in the life of Marianne.
There you go. Put it at work. And that's a great update. Thank you guys again.
All right. Until tomorrow. Tomorrow is a smutty ass Wednesday. We'll see you then. Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.